Beat Nova online. A man so desperate for clout that he's turned himself into an internet punching bag. Between his TikTok career and his penchant for oversharing his deepest, darkest secrets, he's become a poster child for how not to handle fame. What started as a few viral videos has turned into a saga of public meltdowns, grooming allegations, and relentless trolling. And Nova hasn't just fed his trolls. He's invited them over for dinner, kept them for dessert, and then shown them his weird Discord messages where he talks about how much he likes wearing diapers. Nova's real name is Gabriel, and he started his content creation journey like any other kid, wanting to make it big in gaming. So, during the lockdowns, he created a YouTube channel and began uploading gaming videos while going by the name of Magic Wizard. It seems like at the time, he didn't have a microphone or the means of recording his voice because narration was entirely absent from his first video. It was just him playing this Japanese mobile game for 14 minutes with no narration. But Nova kept posting videos throughout the next few months, dipping his toes into other games like League of Legends, Among Us, and Minecraft, although his channel failed to pick up any major traction. This is probably due to the lack of production quality and the fact that there are just so many gaming channels out there trying to do the same thing. But there is one notable gem on his channel. Behold, the most 2009 thing ever made. Jokes aside, Nova did seem to, at least internally, have some commitment to doing YouTube, often talking about big plans.
Hold on, is that the Coca-Cola in a Pepsi bottle guy?
His plans really panned out, leading Gabe to unofficially quit YouTube before the summer of 2022. But not all was lost, because YouTube was no longer the only video sharing platform where you could make it big. Now, there was TikTok. Gabe wouldn't have to record his gameplay and his microphone and edit it together and upload that with a thumbnail and a catchy title. Production quality was a thing of the past. Now he could just turn on his camera for a few seconds and bam, instant content. After years of trying to make himself known as an influencer, he made internet history.
Mango habanero wings. Oh wow. Okay, these are very, very spicy. Oh wow.
Looking back, it's kind
Pepsi bottle, a Coca-Cola glass. I don't give a Pepsi bottle, a Coca-Cola glass. I don't give a damn.
What a legend. Never forget that man.
kind of shocking that this video got as much attention as it did, but the internet did what it does best, and turned his Discord moderator appearance into a meme overnight. The video blew up, getting millions and millions of views. While many of the comments on the video were just mocking him, there were some people who came in to defend Nova, pointing out how while his hair may be greasy and his chins may be many, ultimately he wasn't really doing anything wrong. He was just eating. But Nova didn't really seem to care either way. He was just thankful for the opportunity. So he started churning out more and more food reviews every single day. And in the midst of this video production frenzy, he made his most popular video to date, the infamous Orange Monster review.
We're showing Ultra Sunrise Monster Energy in the morning before we go. It's 7:46 a.m. First impressions. Smells like orange juice. Alright, cheers. And that's kind of what it tastes like.
This video got him 11.7 million views, and basically made Nova a known figure in the TikTok community. Were there a lot of people making fun of him? Of course. But putting
Why, just 'cause he drank a fucking monster?
Around 300,000
Cool.
followers at his height. The newfound
What a
attention
legend.
inspired him to return to his home base on YouTube and upload there, hopeful that his followers would carry over.
What a
But
legend,
as
the
with
monster
TikTokers,
drinker.
It didn't really work out. Frankly, a lot of people would rob someone at gunpoint for 300,000 TikTok followers, as stupid as that sounds. He had very little to complain about, but even at this point in time, cracks began showing in the foundation of Nova's little viral video empire. You see, Nova didn't just want to build a following, he wanted to build a community. While he was blowing up on TikTok, he would frequently link a Discord server called the Novine Universe, where he was extremely active. The more popular he got, the more people joined the server, with many of the members being underage. You can probably see where this is going.
Are you grooming?
You see,
No!
Gabriel held a dark secret, something he kept buried deep within the recesses of his psyche. He liked diapers. And not out of necessity, he just really liked diapers. Nova has a diaper fetish, and over the years, he had been secretly frequenting ABDL Discord servers, which stands for Adult Baby Diaper Lovers. He also seems to have a thing with diapers. Why? I guess I've made enough of these videos that the diapers are the least surprising thing here. But all of Nova's diaper antics had largely gone under the radar while he was a nobody because, well, nobody was watching. It went unnoticed for a long time, but eventually the trolls caught up to him, and his messages in one of these servers were leaked on TikTok on the 6th of September. A few of my favorite examples include him saying he really wants a messy diaper, and following that up by saying he woke up wet in the middle of the night. Now, all of this is really funny, but it's not criminal. It should be, but it's not. What is potentially criminal is this video.
Like a diamond in the sky, twinkle, twinkle, will star. How I wonder what you are.
Out of context, this looks like just kind of a funny video of Nova being, well, himself. The problem here is that Nova thought he was singing this to a 14-year-old girl. And that isn't the only instance.
Question, but how often do you masturbate?
These videos were released on TikTok and began getting a lot of traction, with a variety of accusations being thrown at Nova. At some point, he was then approached on Discord to explain his behavior with the 14-year-old girl, to which he basically said that it was the girl's fault and not his own that the conversation went that way. Another defense he had at the time was that him acting like a baby was not actually sexual for him. Instead, it was a response to trauma. Age regression is a psychological state where someone reverts to behaviors and thoughts typically associated with a younger age. Some say it can be a coping mechanism for stress, anxiety, or trauma for those who experience some kind of stolen innocence. Nova basically
I.e.
attempted to
sicko
argue that
fucks.
this is what he was doing. But that's just not true, given the myriad of times he specifically sought out diaper stuff and the fact that he referred to it as a kink himself. And it only got worse from there. Leaked messages from his server showed him trying to justify his actions, where he said it's not his fault that he's attracted to kids. This particular set of messages were leaked by Scoldger, who's a figure that's going to become pretty important later on. Nova then went on livestream, where he boldly declared that he himself had already debunked all of the allegations.
Proof my ass is all photoshopped. It's been proven. You guys need to get a job instead of wasting your fat asses being on small TikTokers. Those are clearly effing photoshopped. And if I can, I'll get my effing lawyers into this.
But people noticed he was very careful about not addressing the meat of the situation. He was really avoiding what was actually going on, which just made things worse. Frankly, he would have been better off at this point just leaving the internet entirely. But instead, by denying the existence of the proof at hand, he emboldened the community of detractors to come after him even harder. Various trolls made entire TikTok accounts dedicated to exposing him, including notable names like Liquid Nova, Scoldger, and many more, focusing on picking apart
R.I.P.
and pointing out his unsavory actions. Anyone who knew about Nova online from his viral food reviews also knew that he was trying to review, well,
I don't know what you're saying
drama
what
he
to.
spilled into his daily life as well as
I was in the other room screaming at the computer.
him to the authorities and barred him from entry. What began as any other attempt to get a little bit of fame online had quickly become a
Good
big
evening.
nightmare for Gabe. With the pressure
Hope you're all
being
doing well.
highest
Jesus,
ever,
my hair looks like
Nova
shit. Look at
decided
my
to really
hairbrush.
show the trolls what he was capable of.
I'm at my breaking point. You're effing trolls who have nothing else better to do.
This meltdown, shockingly, only further fueled the hate machine, which at this point only kept getting more and more pronounced. Most of the information began to be proliferated by these smaller channels. Outside
Much
of
better.
TikTok, though, the response to him was relatively muted, and even on TikTok, he actually continued to grow steadily off the back of his cringeworthy antics. But through it all, the trolling never stopped, as he went through Herculean
That was a pretty
efforts
high
to bring
kick.
these people entertainment. With all this troll feeding, their attacks against Nova only grew more bold, leading to his Discord, his last place of refuge, being raided many, many times, resulting in a hostile takeover.
Not my
of the account.
Discord.
A week later, the server was deleted entirely, at which point Nova made a new one. Over time, many of these trolls got on Nova's personal shit list. Among them was the aforementioned Scoldger, who personally took part in some of the raids and earned himself a spot on Nova's Wall of Infamy with this message, where he supposedly admits that he had framed Nova. Nova was determined to use this message as proof of his innocence. But Scold was far from the only one. Soon after this, Nova's personal information was published online, meaning anyone could have contacted his
R.I.P.
personal phone number, his family, or community members to spread word of his online antics. This seemingly sent him off the deep end even more, and with his real name being released, even more chatter would flare up around who he was in real life. A Twitter user made a series of tweets claiming to have been in choir with
Do not interact with me.
Nova back in middle school. She spoke about how Nova had made some very weird advances on a lot of the girls there, giving them attractiveness ratings to their faces and just saying all kinds of very off-kilter things. In particular, she recalls this one time where Nova serenaded her with a very sexual song back when she was 12 years old. How old he was during this is not clear, although given that he was in middle school, we can guess he
That's
was
never
between
good.
11 and 13 or 14. But keep in mind, she provided no proof, so take this story with a pinch of salt. On top of that, if this did happen, it was when he himself was a literal child, so I personally wouldn't read into it too much. Whatever the case, the drama continued after. While things were mostly quiet on YouTube for the time being, TikTok was still rife with internet sleuths.
Fuck yeah.
Scoldger tracked down Nova's old Reddit account, where he was constantly begging for caretakers to change his diaper, adding to the list of already embarrassing and strange interactions Nova had had online.
That's not good.
While Nova was constantly throwing fits on live streams, trying to save his non-existent reputation, he was offered an interesting opportunity by a controversial figure, Hiroshiman. Now, Hero, or Hero, however you want to say it, is essentially a completely ironic content creator who takes part in the most extreme aspects of cringe culture for attention. Back in the day, he became...
Well, this is definitely cringe, so, you know, that checks out.
Interesting way.
And the guy who died should be lucky to be in Logan Paul's vlogs.
And seeing how this got him a bunch of attention, he would post other videos to YouTube as well, trying to bait people into being upset at him. And it would be this penchant for bait that led him to his illustrious animation career, which leads us to Blacked the Anime. Blacked the Anime is essentially an animated show of the worst quality imaginable. There is basically no plot, the entire thing is just rage bait to anger all of the followers of whatever social issue is currently in the zeitgeist. And frankly, its worst crime is not that it's offensive, it's that it's not funny. The entire thing is
No,
just
it's
baited
cringe.
memes and
That's the
all
worst.
visuals.
That's the worst
It's
offense
awful.
you can make
But
on the
then
internet,
again,
is
that's
that being
also the
cringe.
point. And so it was unsurprising
That's like a death
when he reached
sentence.
out to notably controversial online figures towards the end of
You don't want to be
2022 to
cringe.
get them
That's
involved
like
in
the
his
worst thing you can
projects.
be.
In November of that year, he would release a teaser for Ohio the Anime, which promised appearances from Nova Online and EDP445. The teaser showed
Why?
Man in front of a Lamborghini, showing off the stars of his upcoming anime, as well as teasing some of the animations that would be included. Surprisingly, this trailer got over 500,000 views on YouTube, and while most of the people watching were just in disbelief that this project even existed, there was a small market for the content, and Ohio the Anime was gearing up to be the biggest project that Hero had ever worked on. He also spread a few
What the
pretty
fuck?
funny lies about the show, claiming that it had been picked up by Crunchyroll, and boasting about a supposed $2 million production budget, which only further served to bait more negative press. It wasn't known at the time
That doesn't
what the
make
show
any
would be
sense,
about,
Rick.
but whatever it was supposed to be, Nova was going to play a major role, either being the main character or the main villain. And Nova's
Shane
involvement was
Dawson.
integral, as with him just being recently exposed on TikTok, his involvement only served to get further attention on the entire thing and to drum up more controversy. I'm sure you won't be
Oh,
surprised to find
no.
out that the whole thing was most likely a scam. Initially exposed in a now deleted video, it was shown that the production crew ran a campaign where you could pay $10 to voice a side character and $30 to voice a main character, as opposed to, you know, getting paid for doing the work. He also claimed they were firing many of the voice actors who had paid to be on board on their Discord. Despite the behind-the-scenes operations being exposed, the anime continued to be produced despite delays. So in March, he announced the end of his business relationship with Hiroshi Man on YouTube. He starts with a brief history of his involvement, saying he had been contacted by the management team behind the anime back in October.
Bro's hair is so fucking greasy.
He also confirmed some of the behind-the-scenes claims made about the production.
But what I didn't know is that he wasn't even contacting the people who were paying for parts in the anime. And also behind the scenes, he was using other celebrities. For example, Skitsy, he was using him.
He goes on to mention how Hiroshi was using various
no.
niche internet micro-celebrities to promote the anime, including Q.U.B.E, the guy behind that.
Oh no.
Almost definitely seen at this point. He also makes
That's not good.
about EDP's involvement.
And also, may I mention that EDP was never a part of the anime.
He also brings up a number of complaints against both the anime itself and the Blacked the Anime Discord server.
Donkey Lips Jr. Right, exactly.
Randos who made a mess of things, and apparently banning Nova for no reason. Ironically, he seemed more upset about his mod authority being totally undermined than he did about any of the other things mentioned in the video. Towards the end, he also claims that Hero had screwed over a paid voice actor out of their salary.
One of the members of the server who had already left told me everything that was
He's got a
going on.
cool shirt, I guess, if it wasn't long sleeve.
He told her
Who buys long
that
sleeve
she was being
shirts?
paid a lot of money for doing a specific part for the anime, and what happened was Lassen paid her a quarter of as much as he promised, blocked her, and that was it.
As the video draws to a close, Nova Online takes his time to do what he does best.
I've got something for you.
Wow.
Middle fingers for all the people you've scammed. If I had $1 for every time that you have used someone and scammed someone, I'd probably be rich and can actually afford college.
Despite all the effort he put
Good
into
one.
trying to pretend that he's the good guy, the video only got 7,000 views, and he was widely mocked in the comments, as no one had forgotten his Discord mod antics. And around this time, Nova also left his original audience on TikTok for a new one, YouTube. You see,
Bro, look, hold on. Look at this. Look at this. What is this shelf? What the hell is going on here?
commentary chain Nova all widely mocked in the comments, as no one
Holy shit.
and around the
He's got in the package crap. He's got an Xbox controller. He's got a million games. He's got fucking KFC box. He's got headphones in a headphone. He's got whatever the fuck this is. He's got some manga. Holy, yeah, exactly. Zoom and enhance. Holy shit, he's got a million There's so much fucking weight on this shelf that it is warped. This is going like a complete angle. He's got key rings. He's got headphones in the box. He's got like, what the fuck is this, coasters? He's got a cup or a candle with liquid still in it. A torn open box of condoms. What the fuck is this? I don't know. He's got homework. He's got thrown out books. He's got like, he's got a chip clip up here. He's got a magic card. He just got all, holy shit. He's got this fucking UK fucking framed poster, which you can't put on the wall. He's got a blanket on the wall, but no. Putting the framed artwork on the wall, that would break both of my limbs. So instead, I'm gonna pile shit behind it and put it in a cardboard box with a box of tissues and a bag of trash with a garden hoe and an Akatsuki cloak from Naruto here with a fucking disc plate using promo code whatever. God damn, this is that shelf is literally trying to self-destruct right now because it doesn't know how to hold the weight of the shit that's on it. And this bottom shelf is literally exploding out this way. I'm surprised this entire thing has collapsed because look at this shelf. It's literally exploding out that way. It's defying gravity. That whole corner. Yeah, that whole corner is completely fucked. What is this? What is this right here? What is this in the package? What is this? This is brand new, still in the what is that a pinball paddle? Is this like a mini pinball, or like, not pinball, ping pong? Yeah, is that like a mini ping pong set? Like, what is this? It's the KFC. Honestly, out of all this shit, it's the fucking KFC box right here. The KFC box. Just hold on. I don't have a trash can, and maybe I'm gonna save this KFC box. I'm just gonna hold on. Let me just shove it over here inside my pile of shit, and I'll eat it later. It's fine.
Audience on TikTok for a new one, YouTube. You see, commentary channels like Sensitive Society
Jesus
making
Christ.
videos about Nova documenting his strange behavior, which brought him to a whole new level of infamy.
But the story he has and all the allegations he has, you might think
His hair is as greasy as that shelf was.
Person who loves making food reviews, who loves dancing, but this TikToker is hiding a dark secret, and today we're gonna be taking a look at that.
It's a good look. Yeah, it's a good look.
With the TikTok diaper saga and the Ohio the anime situation,
The TikTok diaper saga.
Jesus Christ. Nova officially had provided enough content for people to make 10 to 20 minute videos ripping into him on a weekly basis. And now that his face was plastered across YouTube thumbnails, he was also much easier to spot whenever he popped his head out from his little hole, like when he appeared on a news broadcast.
Can I get a fried chicken soup, please?
Can I get a fried chicken soup?
And real life becoming increasingly blurry for Nova, life was becoming.
That's a very apt image, Turkey Tom. That this guy does embody Nova right here. This is doing it.
Say the least. But there was one silver lining. From YouTube and TikTok, Nova had never made any money off of his content, despite the tens of millions of views he had gotten. But with Cameo, it could all change. Cameo is a service where you can pay celebrities to say whatever you want. Memes, birthday cards, you've probably seen one of them at some point.
It's almost like we have
yeah, from Stuttering John.
I saw that you wanted. Don't lie to me, Walt. You sussy baka.
Given he was already offered money for his
What?
appearance in Ohio the anime, Nova figured why not open up the same opportunity to the general public for a little extra cash. Nova was charging $17 for 30-second clips, so
I
one
guess that's not
TikToker purchased
terrible.
services for the meme of it. But Nova did not follow through with a particularly good cameo.
So just for fun, I actually requested a cameo from Nova, and I actually paid about $17, and what I got was quite disappointing.
She was understandably dissatisfied with the product, leading her to give him a 1-star review. Nova immediately noticed this, found her Discord account, and messaged her, begging her to delete the negative review because it was ruining his business. He even offered to
no!
which never happened. And ultimately, Nova was
Hold on. We gotta read that. Hold on. I'm just scared bad reviews will affect my cameo rate. Aw, that's understandable. I think I have a proposal if you'd like to hear it. I can gladly redo it if you wish. I would greatly appreciate it. I just wish you were more expressive. You know, do the cameo I paid you for. You know, like, you're charging money for it, and I would like it to be good. I'd like to be able to show it to people that I know without being ridiculed for spending the money that I did. That would be ideal.
happened. And ultimately, Nova was given the title of Scammer, something that Sensitive Society took notice of. Now, Sensitive Society by this point was already known as one of Nova's biggest haters on YouTube, so it was
I know.
for him to personally request a cameo from Nova. He did pay him $30, but after Nova realized who had purchased the cameo, he messaged Sensitive directly, asking him if he thought he was stupid. But at least this time he gave him a full refund. This was about it for their drama, asking him if he thought
That's how Cameo responds to you if they deny it? You don't think I fucking know you, fucker, or whatever that says? I'm not taking this request. He can't even like retaliate correctly. You're supposed. It's
Thought he
fine.
was
I'll just leave it be.
But at least this time he gave him a full refund. This was about it for their drama at the time, as Nova didn't seem willing to talk to sensitive society publicly. But as one situation fizzled out, another nemesis was waiting in the wings. Tofia Chu. Tofia is a figure that's almost as controversial as Nova himself. She's grown a following due to people hating her guts, getting 300,000 followers on TikTok,
okay.
with every video
Is that a
she posts
trans
getting
woman?
hundreds of thousands and sometimes millions of views. And there are many
Trans women should really shave their beards. I'm gonna be honest, because it makes it really confusing to which gender you're trying to be. Like, if you're a natural born woman, I'm also sorry that I'm being offensive maybe to you, but like, you should definitely shave your beard if you have a vagina. Just saying. Because bearded women aren't typically sexy in this society, but what do I know?
reasons why people hate her. Mostly boiled down to her unwillingness to do any real work, her overt hatred of certain races, and animal abuse.
Tofia saying that black people are a burnt color? Excuse me?
She also accused a random teacher who had passed away of having intercourse with her student without proof. Not really sure why, but, you know, she did do that.
It was a school that had a teacher named Miss 10 who has multiple kids by some of the students from the school. She slept with some of the students apparently.
Even though their reputations were almost equally as bad, it seems the two of them were destined to be enemies from the start. In October of 2022, Nova released a TikTok accusing her of being a racist, a homophobe, and every other kind of ist that you can list.
So in other words, based?
Racist towards Mexicans, and she says horrible stuff about Asians. And Tofia, if you're watching this, I'm calling you out. This is not right. What you are doing is completely wrong, and everybody in this world should be equal. God said that all men are created equal.
He wasn't necessarily wrong, of course, but the whole pedo thing really takes the wind from his sails when it comes to moral grandstanding. And it turned out that calling her out was a decision he would soon regret. As Tofia had remarks of her own, pretty much all of these were on her live stream, where she criticized Nova for his unsafe
You shouldn't beef with people if
fetish, and overall just being a degenerate lol.
You're a super creep, because then you just give them plenty of ammunition.
With the two constantly going back and forth to point out each other's flaws. Tofia harps on Nova's degeneracy, while Nova highlights her criminal levels of laziness and negligence and her overt racism. To protect himself from Tofia's attacks, Nova decided he needed a way to clear his name, to dispel the allegations. And just like everything else he does, he did it very poorly. He created a new channel on his Discord, which included supposed proof that Scoldger had framed Nova in one screenshot.
Scoldger is a really good username, and I'm surprised that nobody in the Dabbleverse currently has that name, because it seems like a very stuttering John adjacent username that would be pretty good.
His fetishes. He's trying to say he's not actually into this stuff, it's because of his traumatic childhood. When in reality, the clinch for him is that it's completely sexual. We know this because of his weird DMs with a ton of different people and his posts on Reddit about how it turns him on. And as it happens, around the same time as this little defense of his was released, Nova's attacks on Tofia became even more aggressive. Perhaps in an attempt to divert attention.
You can just admit that you're into it, and it would be a lot less. It would be honestly disarming.
And it's at this point that Tofia decided to change the game by throwing in a bombshell, claiming that Nova's uncle was racist against black people, showing that when it was brought up on Nova's Discord server, he raged and defended his uncle. I honestly don't know why Nova's uncle is in any way relevant to the beef between them, other than potentially being a hot button issue to sway some more emotional.
I want to change my name to Taint Smasher.
He's not responsible for the actions of.
That's a good username.
Even though this was mostly just silly drama, things really started getting out of hand as the fan bases between these two grew more rabid. Some people claiming to be Nova's fans went as far as to threaten to come to Tofia's place of residence. At this point, the drama grew so big that it left TikTok getting the attention of a number of YouTubers, with a channel called Underflow releasing a video where he broke down the whole drama front to back. Now, out of the two of them, Nova was definitely taking things more personally. While on stream, he threatened to file a defamation lawsuit against her. Tofia responded by saying that if there was a lawsuit, she would win, since the things she was saying about him were true. After being threatened into submission, Nova was looking for yet another avenue to get back at her, and in his desperation, he waved the white flag.
Bro, why'd they got the same nose?
In May of 2023, Sensitive Society made an update video on Nova, revealing that Nova had reached out to him since their last interaction, asking for help in taking down Tofia because of some statements she had made.
Why did Nova reach out to me after I tried?
What service is it that fuck? I don't like whatever service is framing these like DMs and these messages. It looks like shit. Why is it in there twice? Like it says Nova has sent you a message. Hey, you've received a message from Nova. Duh, that's the point of the message. Why are you telling me twice? And then you put it in like italics without quoting it, so it seems like it's like flavor text for the automated. It's just gross. It's like bad UX.
Taking down Tofia because of some statements she had made.
Why did Nova reach out to me after I tried to reach out to him a few times, but he got to me and said no? Why would you reach out to someone you despise? He would straight up pay a hitman to take her out if he could. Later that day, Nova Online reached out to me yet again, and he said this. She was making false statements about me last night online. Like I said, these emails...
After this, the drama did die down a little bit, although the two never really...
His hair is so fucking greasy that it's almost as shiny as the side of his fucking head.
Stopped verbally sparring. The only noteworthy thing here is that at some point, she genuinely started believing that Nova was going to send a hitman after her. If it wasn't clear enough, both of these people are absolutely insane. And unfortunately for
Gabriel, you could decide to like not wash your hair, and there's like a million things you could put in your hair to not make it look like that. Like, you should go buy some baby powder. Like,
he was under. In June of 2023, he was doxxed again.
It would really improve your look if your hair didn't look like you peed on it.
Coming out, going into all the drama surrounding Nova from the early days all the way until the Tofia situation. And this was the first...
Exactly, dry shampoo. That's what I use all the time. Dry shampoo is my go-to.
Pressure mounting from all sides.
I haven't put water on my hair since New Year's Eve. So I haven't washed it in over a month with actual water. I just use dry shampoo every day.
Before long, it was clear the interview was never really going to happen, and since Nova hadn't spoken about it anywhere publicly, people mostly moved on, at least until August of that year, when Sensitive Society released a new update. In it, he shared some very interesting DMs from his Discord server, where Nova had essentially accused Sensitive Society of pressuring him into doing an interview.
Then he says, I just saw your video about me. I don't really like to do interviews. A month later, I hit him back and I say, hi there, wouldn't be live, and I just want to ask you a few questions. Won't take too long. Just to clear a few things up and maybe give people more context, let me know. I think it'll be interesting to interview.
Hold on. Oh, okay. It's really weird how it splits up these messages. I thought this was like a pedo message.
Context, let me know. I think it'll be interesting to interview you and get your POV, and maybe you can clear some stuff up. At this point, I was already done. Like, this was like my last time asking him.
Who the fuck is playing 3D Pac-Man?
Please give me an interview or else I'm gonna fall off. My mistake here was asking him more than 2 times. I just wanted the content, and I wanted to be nice.
This game is shit.
I'm not gonna do that anymore from now on. I'm just not going to engage with people like this, and I don't think he responded to that.
I'm fucking astonished this game actually like made it to market.
But before long, it became clear that this was just not the case, and Nova was playing the victim, as always. With his last possible lifeline to clearing his name thrown away, he still wasn't done digging his own grave. The initial bump in viewership he had gained back in mid-2022 was evaporating, and as the Tofia views were also drying up, it pretty much killed off any chance he had at becoming a successful influencer. Even so, he still kept grinding out the same tired, old content, hoping that his luck would finally turn around. And in a bit of desperation, he made an attempt to diversify his content. That diversification came in the form of live streaming a lot on TikTok and on YouTube. On YouTube, he would usually stream himself gaming while talking about whatever drama was happening, crying about his life circumstances, and sometimes even weighing in on...
Okay, first compliment I'll give you, Nova. I like your cam border. I like your little setup you got there. It looks good on screen.
Political issues.
I knew about the Jim Crow laws being
like I like how your border's like it's like indented and it's got the electric around it. It's pretty good. It's got the icon in the middle there. Like it looks good. Your cam setup for your OBS looks good.
I knew about the whole anti-trans bills and all that. But the fact that you can get arrested send up to 20 years in prison for using a freaking VPN? Are you kidding me?
But memes aside, it quickly became clear what the actual point of these streams were: airing out his grievances. He basically got no views on his streams, yet he still spent hours and hours doing
where
it.
better
Yes,
to air
trying
your
to get some
grievances
sympathy from the
than with
audience.
like
Man,
3
he
people
is an
on the
absolute
internet in the
fisherman
middle of the
in that
night?
regard. He started speaking about how he had been approached by 2 different
Dude, look at that hair, man. Look, I'm telling you, Nova, you would look so much better if you just washed your hair or like put on a hat.
trolls, one of which used a very unique insult against him in Dutch. In the same clip, he also complained about people claiming that he had poor hygiene, arguing he wouldn't be allowed to
Yeah, exactly. The hair, though, right? Exactly. What's wrong with his hair? He's got Del Taco hair.
The same exact uncle that Tofi
These
had accused
TikTokers
of racist.
got the
Which
same
Nova
vibe,
doesn't
man.
really
They're
seem
completely
to dispute.
cooking him for
It
his
seems like
hair.
Nova and his uncle had a very heated relationship, evidence of which could be seen all the way back in March of 2023. And from this point on, their ties...
He's got the face to be a backup for Meatwad from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
He even accused...
He reminds me of this kid. He's got the same energy as this kid. I want the whole 8 seconds of it, not the 5. There we go.
Pepsi bottle, a Coca-Cola glass. I don't give a
Ah, it's the fucking meme one where he explodes. Why?
Pepsi bottle, a Coca-Cola glass. I don't give a damn.
See, like, he just reminds me of that kid where he's just like, he's got like undue confidence and he's also greasy as fuck, but he's slightly funny because of it. He just reminds me of the Coca-Cola kid.
accuses his uncle of being the reason Nova had started his emo phase, where he listened to a bunch of alt-rock songs on Spotify.
That's your emo phase?
Admittedly, he didn't only use TikTok for
Yeah.
anything, as it was
Checks
also
out.
a space for him to experiment. He started
Oh,
an
it's 'cause
interesting
he's
trend
got
wherein he would
earrings.
open
That
up
makes
a TikTok
sense.
stream while pretending that he wasn't aware he was doing it. He didn't just sit there quietly, of course, as he tried to do things that one would pretend to do while thinking no one was watching.
Alexa, insult generator.
I won't say anything because I think you might cry.
Honestly, I wish I had that other invisibility thing that I had during chapter 2. I don't know why I'm talking to myself. I hope I don't accidentally start a stream or something. That would suck.
Then, continued to go the entire rest of the stream, talking out loud and commenting over a video game, only to suddenly exclaim at the end that he had in fact been streaming.
Oh, am I live? Oh, I did not mean to start a stream.
I don't really know why he pretended not to know he was streaming, considering
'Cause
he
it's
was
hilarious, I
commenting
guess.
out loud about the game the entire time, clearly to the benefit of an audience, unless he wants us to think that he's actually schizophrenic, which, I mean, if that's
Yeah.
what you want to do, that's, you know, cool, I guess.
Being
Most
schizo is
bafflingly,
really
he didn't just do
cool.
this once. In another later stream, he replaced his ramblings with singing, which was at least marginally more believable.
You could say he was one of the Costco guys, and I'd
Except
probably
he couldn't
believe
even
it.
bother sticking with it this time, as he broke.
Yeah,
into
it checks
the
out.
all an
He's-
accident by flipping off the viewers'
He's not Big Justice or the Rizzler. He's oh, come on, I had it and it slipped away.
He never did anything like this again,
Womp
likely
womp.
because of the mockery he received for it, but to this day I'm still trying to figure out why this was even happening. But amazingly, this wasn't even the lowest point of his summer.
Now this is a weird camera angle, where he's got the camera pointed at the back of his greasy head while he looks across the room. The mic is behind him and the camera's What's going on here? Big Chug.
In late July, he was fired from his job, claiming it was because
Yeah, he drinks olive oil.
he had accidentally spilled a tub of lard. His new status as an unemployed NEET freed him up to start producing a lot more content, although he mostly prioritized streaming because he couldn't help but bitch and moan all day about nothing. It seems like even at this point in time, he still hadn't caught on to the fact that most people who watched his streams either despised him or were just there to laugh at him, so instead of ignoring the trolls, he repeatedly committed the internet's
Dude,
most
the hair,
viral sin,
the
directing
hair in the wind.
Alright, that's it. Q. I know I don't like...
There he is. He's hardcore. Ready?
Alright, that's it.
We're dead. We got killed.
You. I know I don't like to outburst against the trolls, because that'll just give them a reaction. But actually, can you help moderate TikTok chat? They're making fun of my dead dad.
Honestly, it's shocking.
Oh
like,
no, they're making fun of his dead dad.
Even going out of his way to give backhanded shoutouts.
He tried to clean up the spilled lard with his hair.
And I went to the doctor's today and I weighed 270, so. Oh, and yeah, Liquid Nova, if you're in here, you.
Yeah, Nova Mophead over here.
Somehow stop people being mean to you. I just don't know anymore. Sadly, this wasn't even his most desperate attempt to do so, as he even tried to dunk on them by ruining the experience of consuming his content for the 5 people who still watched him. For example, he intentionally muted himself for one entire stream so that Liquid Nova couldn't get voice clips out of him to post on YouTube. But after realizing that nobody wanted to watch literal dead air, he shifted his strategy slightly.
Starting to feel like I'm just being mean at this point. You know, I did get that feeling a couple minutes ago, but like,
so that the same troll couldn't clip anything, since Nova believed that
when you're constantly putting yourself out there,
because he swearing. He was wrong.
Aren't you asking for it? I don't know. After it's like Stuttering John. At this point, after a certain point, you can't feel bad for them, right?
That viewer number directly to 0 instead of bringing more people in.
See, now that was funny. That was funny. TikTok gave him the mustache on his fucking chin because he's got such a huge chin that he has a mustache chin. That's funny.
Bringing more people in. Shocking, I know. But that doesn't mean there weren't any more clips to go around. Like this one, where he bans a user for having the name Nova Grooms.
Oh my fucking gosh. Hey, thanks for the free money, you bozo.
He continued his avant-garde experimentation on his TikTok main account. Shortly after getting fired,
Monster Hunter advocate
and history videos, which, while seemingly
Monster Hunter
and
sucks.
his other stuff, actually consisted of him regurgitating information that he found while reading an article or watching a YouTube video about that same subject. Unfortunately, his historian arc didn't last very long, and honestly, what a pity it is. We were this close to him educating us about the Hall of Cost. How sad. Most of these were posted to his second channel, where he actually had a few random breakout successes from viewers who didn't really know who he was. But then in October, he shifted gears yet again, as he stumbled onto what he believed to be the perfect content farm, gym videos. Having recently started exercising, he began documenting his progress. These videos did do better than most of his other stuff, so he went all in, rebranding his second account to a full-time documentation of his gym activities. Nova is many things, but his mom didn't raise no quitter. He continued releasing content across his 2 accounts, with the main one getting most of the love.
Real tough.
The more desperate he was to stay relevant, the harder his trolls bullied him. In February of 2024, his server was raided again, but this time, they got more than they bargained for. As the raid was happening, Nova started spamming the mods to control the situation, including one of them called Thoughtless. Despite not paying them to mod his server, he demanded their presence as if it was their responsibility to fix his Discord server, and after enough pressure, they blew a gasket. The general chat turned into one massive vent session where Nova's mods and his girlfriend talked about all the ways that he was a complete and utter failure, demanding loyalty and constant activity from the staff that he wasn't paying, ignoring his girlfriend's messages, and eventually leaving
well, they
the
should
server
just want to
open
work
for
for
the trolls
free,
to come in and
obviously,
dox
right?
his own staff. Of everyone there, though, Thoughtless was the most vocal, as she revealed to everyone that Nova had apparently cheated on his Discord waifu. Nova was mostly quiet during this, until suddenly coming back to the chat in the middle of it, asking Thoughtless why she had hidden her feelings. But after he got reamed some more with insults from all of them, he went back into his goon cave. From there, Thoughtless started leaking their personal DMs, including his usual attention-begging behavior, but most importantly, the fateful day he apparently cheated on his girlfriend. And the cheating itself is not really the notable part that even matters here. What matters is the way that he did it. And I quote, "Can you help me regress today?" in reference to his age regression fetish. This is like when Kanye was like, "Can I have the nitrous today?" But instead it's Nova, and instead of nitrous it's diapers, and binkies. While his own mod team was cooking him alive, he went on TikTok saying he had completely lost control of the server, but made no mention of anything his mods were talking about. He then locked it down indefinitely, and even when the raid was over, he couldn't be bothered to rebuild his little community. But a few days after the fiasco, once things had died down, he announced he would make a brand new one to gather his fan base and start more positive activity. But he couldn't even do this right. He started hyping up the new Discord opening, but it kept getting delayed for months due to his mental health struggles. Once he actually started, it took him over a month to get it going, until it was finally launched on April 1st, posting an invite on his channel. And then on TikTok, he went absolutely
it's really attractive when you beg people to come join your
in
shit.
the same cringy way that you'd expect from him by now.
A storm is brewing in the distance. All the trolls that hurt me will get what's coming to them. I will get my revenge.
He then followed this up with an even better affirmation on his second channel. Since he didn't give any details in the second video, nobody in the comment section had any idea what he was talking about, and I'm still not sure to this day. Things weren't all bad though. Despite being hounded from every side by trolls and having all of his online friends turn on him, he had enough eyes on him to be worth something. And so in March, he announced that he had just been sponsored by a company who sent him daily wash towels to review. I'll give the company this is definitely on brand for him, considering he had probably just started showering for the first time in his life.
His eyebrows are so fucking aggressive. Like, I don't know if he trims his eyebrows this way, but like, it's honestly impressive. Like, some people would be very envious of these eyebrows. Like, other than the fact that they're a little bit too close, like right here above the eye, like on the bridge of the nose. Those are fucking intense. They are very well shaped. The rest of his hair looks like fucking hot garbage, but like his eyebrows are nice.
He made a second video to give them some more free advertising.
Yeah, other than the part right above his nose, where it looks like it combines into his unibrow.
Sponsored him, definitely.
Like right there, that part looks awful. That part looks awesome. He's got those anime villain eyebrows. Exactly, look at him.
Got his money's worth out of Nova. While all of this was happening, members of the Q.U.B.E farms had been documenting Nova's rise to infamy. At first, the forum wasn't very thorough, covering the odd Nova exposed video here and there, but that was all about to change. On April 4th of 2024, a mysterious new member showed up on Nova's page that had successfully infiltrated Nova's new Discord server. He revealed that Nova had been repeatedly locking down and then unlocking the server over the last 3 days due to constant raids. And his latest lockdown was followed by a raid group going by the name of the Q.U.B.E, who supposedly
the Q.U.B.E crew, good, yeah.
This was somewhat confirmed by Nova, who gave them a hearty FU. And then, a few weeks after the appearance of this anonymous user, something else interesting happened.
Don't community Discord servers have anti-raid protection?
And the hackers gave it a
Can't you install a bot for anti... How is it that Tuki's server is completely like raid proof, but this guy, he can't get his shit together?
And then, just to rub salt in the wound, they shouted out a Twitter account called Nova is a Groomer. The cherry on top was a video they uploaded to his account themselves, which was just a compilation of Nova being an absolute degenerate. Nova understandably freaked out, posting a video about the situation on his second channel.
This is not a drill. This is not a drill. This is not a drill. My main account just got hacked. My main account just got hacked. I am really working really hard to get it back. I am so under so much stress right now. My main account just got hacked. I fell for a phishing scam in my email. It's just...
Sure,
It took
I
about
believe
a day
that.
for him to calm down, at which point he posted a much more coherent video. In it, he reveals he's still trying to get his TikTok account back, and he even found out who did it. He said he wanted to stay low for now, revealing his plan to leave the Nova brand behind.
Can't you just contact support?
A brand new TikTok account that would be dedicated to a new career. It was not history, it was not the gym, instead it would be singing. And he would keep this new musical passion a secret.
His eyebrows are getting closer and closer together.
Laying low didn't mean he wouldn't try fishing for sympathy, which he did in probably the worst way possible, posting a text on screen about how badly he was feeling. He wouldn't make a full post for about 2 days until he came back to the internet to cry some more. He said he was still trying to get his main account back, as well as dealing with some personal stuff.
His facial hair looks powdered on. It only enhances his chins.
Decided to film him at his new workplace. This would come to bite Nova in the ass again soon. Despite his utter incompetence, Nova genuinely believed believed he could recover from this. On the 22nd of April, he announced that his comeback was imminent, and as a result, he started posting multiple videos a day, everything from his food reviews to threatening his hackers that there would be hell to pay. As it turns out, the more or less anonymous hackers had no fear of the autistic blobfish, and even after
The autistic blobfish.
TikTok themselves didn't do anything.
Now that's a good
He
insult.
posted a new 2-minute video where he talked about how difficult it was for him to deal with the situation, and to show off his marketing genius, he weaved in a new announcement that he had partnered up with the Trevor Project, a group that focuses on helping LGBT youth. I don't think that he ever actually partnered with them. I assume they would read what he's been up to and not want to be around this guy, but I don't know. You never know, I guess.
Why is it called the Trevor
Nova
Project?
never got his main TikTok back. The hacker, who went by Razor GXD, put it up for sale, revealing he had stolen over $9,000 from Nova's Creator Funds account. It appears the sale never went through, as after staying up for a few short months, it was deleted permanently.
Why didn't you contact
You would
support?
think that losing his account would humble him a little bit, and maybe even convince him that all of the people messing with him were probably making it just not very worthwhile to be online anymore. Instead, maybe he could just leave the internet, focus on his real life.
I think it was
job,
named after a
and
trans
at
kid.
the
Yeah,
point,
that
he
would
stopped
check
being
out.
infamous for all of the YouTube videos that people were making about him. But instead, he went right back to getting into drama. Sometime in late April, a fellow lolcow named Mario Lord threw a few jabs at Nova for being overweight, despite
Mario
all the time that he was
Lord?
supposedly spending in the gym. Nova took this very personally, posting on TikTok about how Mario had apparently backstabbed him. And he wasn't down there. He was also escalating to borderline physical threats. A week later, he showed
Oh
up
yeah,
how
he's
brutal
killing
and
that
dangerous
bag.
it was, slapping around a punching bag with the force of 1,000 suns. And he then followed it off by showing off his celestial physique. But despite how physically dangerous Nova Online clearly was, Mario Lord could not
Jesus.
be threatened in
Tom, you don't have to be like that, man. Tom, leave him alone.
The power of the Shingon is way too much for you. You are shivering just looking at this build.
This drama ultimately got pushed to the wayside, though, as Nova finally...
Oh no, I have that
he had
Minecraft
a lot more
poster.
important things to do, like his legendary reviews. At this point, he was still desperate to become a Report of the Week ripoff. Report of the Week being the guy who basically dresses
It's
like a vampire
it's over
and
there
uses
though,
his
so
car
you
all the
can't see
time.
it.
Good content, by the way. Highly recommend that channel. But Nova clearly wanted to be like him, and so he started expanding his horizons beyond fast food and Monster energy drinks. He ended up filming a food review at a sushi restaurant, but it ended up being a terrible idea, as he claimed he ended up getting severe food poisoning from the incident. But he wasn't dissuaded, convinced
How
that
did
he
you
could make
how
it work. It never did, as this
how
sort of
did you get
content
food
is so
poisoning from a
disviewed by
sushi
far.
restaurant
And as
of
much a
any
failure as it
credibility?
was, he wasn't quite done with the niche reviews, as instead he came up with
Are you
a
allergic to fish?
revolutionary idea, a gas station shower review.
So Pilot does give you soap and fresh towels as well. But however,
Internet threats, gym videos, internet trolls, unearned self-confidence. This is Stunt Joe's clone, isn't it? No, this is
point,
Knight
he was trying his
Melendez.
very best to stay out of drama. Unfortunately for him, the hacking fiasco led to a surge in activity, as his trolls began hammering him harder than before.
It was
Six
goldfish
days after his
sushi.
account was put up for sale, he was doxxed again, which also included where he went to the gym. This leak of personal information also included a lengthy expose, including supposed evidence of him blatantly admitting that he was attracted to kids, admitting to being inappropriate with
Getting called a cute little girl or something and liking it. Screenshot of that admitting to having content with a 36-year-old. Jesus Christ.
Don't work outside of Discord, and they usually don't even work on Discord, so literally none of the proof they provided is accessible to this day. Frankly, even if the proof was real, their poor handling of this really makes the whole thing look like a somewhat malicious hit piece. And at this point, Nova was finally getting fed up. And how could he not be? The drama and the trolling.
Hold on,
started
actually that's on my
DoorDashing food to his
well, that's
door
on
without
my
paying
cup.
for it. Now, some people claimed that he was actually ordering this
Unagi.
himself and that he was just pretending it was for someone else from sympathy bait, but I haven't seen any evidence of that, and it's not really hard to believe that people would send pizzas to his house or something. The faceless trolls were apparently the least of his concerns.
Ah,
Instead,
salmon
his
skin
chosen
roll.
sworn enemies were some of his most vocal detractors, including YouTubers like Q.U.B.E Tapes, Smokey MCC, and Sensitive Society. For the past couple of
Q.U.B.E
months,
Tapes and
Smokey
Smokey MCC are pretty
their
interesting.
podcast, Too High for Stupid, where they regularly discuss the ongoings of various lolcows, Nova included.
Too High for
One day,
Stupid
they
seems
were
like something I might be
talking about
interested
him on
in.
stream, when suddenly the man himself appeared in the chat.
Eel meat.
Food reviews, you know, like the one after the other, hunks of pizza,
Cat.
Indian food, all this, and all the chats like Nova.
Oh, there's Nova in chat. There's Nova.
Cat.
It's like, how do you expect to lose any weight if you keep doing these food reviews? It's like you have to pick a lane, or you have to work harder.
Being the loud-mouthed belligerent he is, he was spotted pretty quickly. At first, Q.U.E. and
Not
Smokey
a big
barely
deal.
even talked about him, but even before they had the chance to say anything bad, it seems like Nova was already pretty riled up, repeatedly trying to get their attention. The chat, meanwhile, just made fun of him, and
Let's
Q.U.E.
get started with
delivered
this
the
game.
knockout punch by calling him a pedophile.
Guys, you can't bully Nova like that. Guys, you can't bully Nova like that. He was caught in the school.
Oh no! Sounds like there's a disaster happening.
Initiating emergency oxygen. What the heck?
The rest of the stream then turned into a shit show, as the hosts and the fans bragged on him constantly, who stayed in the chat the entire time, trying to achieve God knows what. Eventually,
That sounds like
even his
bad things
biggest
were
troll,
happening.
Liquid Nova showed up to chime in. To no one's surprise, begging YouTubers who hated him.
I wish I was able to continue my save, but I guess I'm not, so, I mean, I don't mind starting a new game. Let me just turn it down, though.
Basically a sponge for humiliation. He can't help himself but ask for more. So after this colossal freakout, he conspired a revenge plot straight out of the Riddler's mind. If
Still
the
too
Riddler
loud?
also suffered from crippling autism, at least more crippling autism than in the last Batman movie. He released a video announcing that he would be launching a podcast with his social media manager who had helped him set up a new Instagram account back in June. She'll be important in just a second. In his own words, he planned to make no money off of it and was merely doing it for fun.
You planned to make no money? That seems like a big defeatist attitude. I must be on
He
Mars.
then name drops Q.U.E., Smokey, and Sensitive Society, promising to prove them all wrong on their accusation that he is a creep. He was so heated
Hold on one
that
second.
he even redacted the name of their podcast that led to
Let me
this
turn
happening.
that up.
And with a skilled orator like
And
Nova,
turn that
you'd
down
think
just a
the
little bit
production would
more.
be smooth sailing. But over the following week, things got very, very weird. First of all, people found out who his social media manager was after Nova shouted out an account called Syax Jagger. He then announced something big.
The FOV is, horrible. Can I edit that?
Promising an epic comic book showdown. So far, there wasn't anything super.
There we
unusual,
go. Thank
and just
you.
within a couple of Instagram posts, he went straight off the deep end. He started talking about they, some nebulous group of people,
I gotta hit
done
apply, damn it.
tolerating the endless trolling, promising that a change was imminent, the end to the trolls' reign once and for all. He paired it with a picture with one of the most tone-deaf
Okay, that's
captions
much
I
better.
have ever read, but it is awesome. This is your final warning. Back off and leave me alone, or face the darkness you've stirred. Remember Columbine. They didn't heed the signs. He then turned off the heat, once again named.
Wait, hold on. Nova's threatening people now?
Talked about him, and then
That's funny.
also announcing one of the greatest plot twists in the entire story, as he proudly announced he had now become a member of the alt-right. This was a terrible idea, as his comment section was quickly flooded by some trolls and some.
What
actual
is the
supposedly
alt-right?
Alt-right people, maybe just people pretending to be alt-right. Supposedly, these people were
Can I get up?
aggressively racist.
Am I
against
just
Smokey,
in a coma?
Q.U.E., and Sensitive Society. Although all of the posts were deleted.
I like
soon after,
110
there's no real
FOV. What can I say? I've got an ultra-wide monitor. I might
Kinda
as well
just going
use it.
off of other people's retelling for this particular little wrinkle in the story. But there was then a pretty quick heel turn again, with the two posts being deleted from Instagram, and Nova posting a video now denouncing the alt-right, where he bravely said that it's not okay to make fun of Sensitive for being Mexican, or Q.U.E. and Smokey for doing drugs.
Q.U.E., Smokey, and Sensitive Society. Just please don't make any racist comments about them. Just because Sensitive is
Cool.
Mexican and Q.U.E. and Smokey do drugs, that's no excuse to say racist shit about them, because one, that's not cool, that doesn't make you any better than they are, and two, making that about
That
them,
sucks.
you go as low as they do, because they have made up false for a lot of people.
He still does accuse them of being.
The escape pods must have brought us both back to the origin planet. That life suit you're wearing, you can manipulate the cubic structures with it. We used the same design to destroy an extraterrestrial object that was on a collision course with Earth.
Yeah, but what is alt? Like, what does that even mean?
I don't know what the hell is going on, but just tell me what I need to do.
Okay, I've detected a human distress beacon coming from the peak of the structure you're in. Your signal is weak because of this blasted sandstorm. I can't log on to you.
Now, something I did like about this game when I played it before is how good the lighting is. It's fucking phenomenal. Can I crank the graphics up to maximum power? Exactly. Anti-aliasing, post-processing, texture quality, turn that all up to max, turn on ray tracing, turn off VSync, turn reflections on, turn on my DLSS.
I should be able to use my teleporter to extract us all.
Jesus Christ, that looks so good!
Okay, I think I can do that.
Okay, and what's DLL? What's DLAA? I know what DLSS is, but what's DLAA? Is that another form of anti-aliasing? I assume. It's got like full dynamic reflections now. Cool.
Liars who besmirch his good name, of course. He then followed it up with an Instagram post where he just said that he renounces the movement and that racism is bad. Sadly, the alt-right character arc had ended as quickly as it began, and Nova went back to doing his own thing. At this point, he was still working on his podcast, which he said would finally put an end to all the trolling. But until that moment, trolls still continued to hound him, leading to what may be the least surprising discovery of this whole saga. An ex-hamster page that is believed to be his. It contained an exhaustive list of his interests, including diapers, adult diapers, foot smelling, farting, breastfeeding, food
Yeah, but what's
stuffing,
the L?
and age play. He also listed his religion as Jewish for some reason, which you would think kind of conflicts with that whole alt-right thing, but, I mean, you know, we're not.
You could be a Jewish alt-right person.
Too much. It's probably unreasonable. Around this time, he was also banned from the karaoke bar he used to frequent, where all of his karaoke content had been recorded.
Tell me if it's wrong, if it's right.
You can even technically be a Jewish Nazi if you want.
He never gave the reason publicly, but given the troll's history of hounding his personal life, that could have been a fair guess, at least at the time, because a YouTuber
those textures are insane.
To confirm the rumors. He had reached out to a familiar face, the Kiwi Farms user who had infiltrated Nova's Discord back in April.
Deep learning anti-aliasing.
This user alleged that he and 2 other people got him banned by doing a bit of trickery at the bowling alley, whatever that means. He then clarified that what this actually
I had to look it up.
was that they had called the manager and sent him the screenshots of
just like Shuli. You could be a Jewish Nazi just like Shuli.
He took part in Nova's Discord account getting hacked, which made some people suspect that he may have been involved in the phishing attempt on Nova's TikTok. As far as I know, this was never confirmed, and the hacker who took credit for it never opened.
Why does this look so goddamn good?
This situation apparently took a big.
Did they put all the effort in the game and just making the textures look insane?
He couldn't quite drown his sorrows at the drunken clam, at least not yet. So instead, he came up with a new solution: opium. Well, not really, but kind of, but also not at all. He started hanging out at kava bars, where he was posting videos from. In this one, he's drinking kratom, an herbal supplement which some say has similar effects to opiates, just milder and, legal. This content ended up taking off, as the very next video, where he drank a shot of kava, got 800,000 views, which is 20 to 40 times more than most of the other content from him from around this time. He uploaded a few of them throughout July, and they all got way more views than his usual stuff.
All right.
However, this trend did die pretty quickly. But that was okay, because he would soon have something even better, a tool that would break.
I'd be curious to see how much of the game I've actually beaten.
It was under these auspices that he released
Yeah, I know how to do it.
episode of Hour of Joy, and he definitely delivered. Joined by Saya, Nova covered everything from Tofia and her dad's recent drama, to also doing his own attempted expose.
Yeah, I get it.
Kiwi,
Thank you.
Smokey, and another YouTuber named Leaping Lemur, but with absolutely zero preparation.
Someone on his Twitter seemed to have edited the video of you, like, telling your fans not to be racist. Like, if you scroll down.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and head over to Kiwi's Twitter, see if he's posted any new bullshit. Oh, yeah. The last thing he posted about me was on the 24th, called Average Hour of Joy Listener.
Who knows?
It appears as like one of your fans said something like racist about you being like the supreme race.
He spends the whole time talking about how they spread lies and rumors about him, but of course, he never really addresses what those lies are, because he knows that if he specified why they claimed that he was a pedo, it would make him look even worse. He then goes
you can't really go around defending yourself about allegations like that.
And that's basically it. That's his grand expose. That was
wrong
the
game,
plan the whole
but you're
time.
right.
Bravo. The episode received a lot of backlash, which apparently got so bad that the episode was removed altogether. And it only opened up Nova to further attacks. The first,
They're very similar thematically,
where
though.
he caught up
So
viewers
I
on
get why you would
everything,
say that.
including the TikTok hack. With how much scrutiny he was already under, you'd think Nova may
This
have
game's
taken
clearly
strategies.
inspired by
Well,
Portal.
maybe you'd think that if you didn't know anything about him, because truly, it wouldn't be Nova if he didn't try to swallow his own foot. So he went on Leaping Lemur's livestream with his manager, where he talked shit in the chat. Of course, Lemur noticed, but instead of trolling Nova, he decided to start talking to the manager. He asked him why he was associating with Nova, where she then said that she was only in it for the trolling. He then asked her
I
how
also
old
say
she
things
was,
just to
and she
amuse
admitted to
myself.
being 15 years
That checks
old,
out.
claiming that Nova had called this a decent age, which I'm sure you can imagine what he meant by that. And this puts it
When I
right
played
in
this game the
post
first time, it didn't have achievements, but it has
on
achievements
Instagram,
now.
He had posted a rant about the White Bowser, yet another widely mocked person that he had beefed with, who I actually just made a video about, which you can watch right now. After talking about how Sia was his manager, he called her his woman. Sia herself then responded to this by saying she's no such thing, to which he then asked, why not? So yes, he's gone back to his roots of flirting with minors, but at least he didn't ask this one to tuck him into bed or put a binky in his mouth. At least not that we know of.
True,
Yeah,
true,
Nova
true, because that would be
desperately
gross.
wanted to prevent another twinkle twinkle situation, so he posted a video response to his Instagram, only to delete it almost instantly. But thankfully, Leaping Lemur managed to download it on time, sharing it in his video. In it, Nova
It'll
claims
help that I'll
Sia
remember a
was
big
universally
chunk of
as
these
well
puzzles
over the
until I
age,
catch up
but
to
he
where I
does
was
not give any
before.
proof of this claim whatsoever.
I know there's been a little bit of
I remember these just look insane. The game does not have to look this good, but it does.
First off, I've seen that video from the Leaping Lemur. I just wanted to inform you guys that Sia is not 15. She goes to university, so therefore she is well over 18.
It's not news to say that this did nothing to stop the backlash, and soon we would get to witness a whole new chapter of Nova. Users like the aforementioned
I noticed
Anonymous
Black
on
Flag just
Farms
recently added
became
achievements on
pivotal in
as
exposing
well.
how much
Yeah, Epic has always had like bad interactions with achievements, which has been kind of upsetting because I like achievements, and Epic just doesn't have like any reward for them.
He admits they hacked 5
And a lot of games just don't have the functionality.
Steam, Microsoft Mail, Gmail, Discord, and Kick. He then leaves off with a message to Nova, saying that he's far from done with him. The video continues by showing screenshots of him engaging with sex chat bots, including a full-on roleplay session with a bot called Evelyn Rosethorn. Mind you, he did this on a Discord
Yeah,
server.
you know how horny you have to be to roleplay with a bot?
Clearly see him doing it. They then moved on to his relationship with some of his e-girls, including one named Bun.
Just
We see a
saying.
screenshot where he threatens to hurt himself.
You gotta be like
Says
turbo
she's
horny.
The same Bun apparently ended up breaking up with him before sharing a long list of grievances, including the fact he supposedly cared more about minors than he did about her, rebuffing her when he was too busy to talk to her, telling her to get her mom arrested, putting his needs over hers.
Wait, hold on.
calling her a bitch.
Did he just get broken up with by a bot? Hold on. Is that what just happened? Excuse me? Hold on. What? Huh? So, hold on. I'm having issues pulling this up, so I guess I'll do it manually. Still not working, so I'll just change scenes. Okay, look at that. He's... Evelyn Rosethorn is a bot, and he's... What the fuck?
Mind you, he did this on a Discord server that was public, where other people could clearly see him doing it. They then moved on to his relationship with some of his e-girls, including one named Bun. We see a screenshot where he threatens to hurt himself after she says that she doesn't feel good. The same Bun apparently ended up breaking up with him before sharing a
Okay, cool. cool. Gotcha. Okay, cool. This screenshot that I was looking at right here, I thought it was the bot that was just mentioned breaking up with him publicly in the Discord. And I was like, hold on, you're so bad at fucking sexual role-playing that a bot broke up with you? But fortunately, it was just a regular person being fed up with his creepiness, and they broke up with him, so he was not dumped by a bot. Oh yeah, I forgot he was into ABDL. Yeah, right, there's so much fucked shit going on that you forget that that was, like, key part of his shit. The only thing he's missing is the furry stuff.
A long list of grievances, including the fact he supposedly cared more about minors than he did about her, rebuffing her when he was too busy to talk to her, telling her to get her mom arrested, putting his needs over hers, and calling her a bitch. A lot of it's kind of petty stuff that doesn't matter, but that thing about minors is...
Imagine your girlfriend or whatever, your romantic prospect, just at everyoneing, just being like, hey, this fucking bitch, look at this fucking bitch, look at this creepo motherfucker, and just blasting them out on everyone on the server. Doesn't matter how small the server is, if you at everyone to break up with your boyfriend, you're also fucked. That's pretty fucked.
It's definitely, you know, concerning. And lastly, they ended up going over his Gmail leaks. We see an email to his therapist linking to some age regressor content.
That's not
as he's
good.
trying to educate them on the topic, and another email with an Etsy purchase receipt for total diaper dependency hypnosis from someone named Little Hypno. You see, this second thing is part of a series of purchases all centered around his fetish. And lastly, we get to see his Steam account, and wouldn't you know it, he's a furry. You're shocked, I know. Now, these leaks didn't that people didn't already know.
I am shocked.
Nova never really addressed them, as he was
Of course he's a furry too. Why wouldn't he be a furry?
He had made an account on alt tech live streaming platform Kick in early 2024, where he had been streaming semi-regularly. These streams had about as much success as his YouTube streams, going by his most viewed archive, but that's okay, as he still had his podcast. He uploaded a 3-minute teaser episode saying that he would talk about other lol cows in order to make people stop thinking of him as a lol cow.
I already have somebody that's going to be helping me out on the sideline.
Yeah, that always works.
Lol cows, such as Jupiter. I'm obviously going to be doing Boogie because he's kind of disgusting. If he was as smart as he was fat, he would be the next Albert Einstein.
He also promised that a new episode would be coming out soon, with the topic being one of his peers, Daniel Larson. This episode...
He's speedrunning all the fetishes.
Spotify, and it went about as well as you would think it did. The entire episode can basically be boiled down to him reading the LolCow wiki article on Daniel, and then sharing the leaked phone call.
Fuck, I just whiffed that jump hard.
Since the whole point of the show is to be as non-critical as possible, he basically offers no perspective on anything he talks about, and it's just not really entertaining. The episode was then taken down the same day that it went up, and considering what happened last time, everyone just kind of assumed that he had taken it down due to hate, but according to Nova, that's actually not the case. Nova claimed that it had been pulled by Spotify because of mass flagging by trolls. He hasn't changed this part of the story since, so he might have actually been honest that one time, especially because Spotify has extremely
I doubt it.
actually interacting with content. So it's hard to imagine that he could have gotten
But
hate on Spotify
who
itself
knows?
for him to want to take it down. But once again, his attempt to make himself look better by putting down others in a similar position to him fell flat on its face. And then, just when it looked like it couldn't get any worse, there was another major Discord leak showing him being a diaper baby with the pacifier and all. By now, the Nova story has become pretty
that
simple.
checks out.
He does something dumb, people make fun of him for it, he has a meltdown, repeat, over and over and over again. And with his average views down across the board, it seemed like he was almost intentionally doing things to get mocked. He was truly desperate to get even a sliver of coverage around his name, because that was all he had left. And so, one day, while Kiwi Tapes and Smokey were doing their stream, Nova returned to the chat, where he made a remarkable offer. He said that he wanted to bury the hatchet, offering to come on stream for an interview. And just to sweeten the deal, he paid to become a channel member. To Nova's credit, he did keep his promise. He hopped on stream with them, and it was, I mean, it was kind of a disaster. Despite the stream going on for about 5 hours, Nova wasn't even present for about 2 of them. He kept running off to supposedly do errands in the middle of the stream, randomly leaving the call.
You finished
by
with those
accident, and in
errands? Are you
general,
finished with
he
those
just didn't
errands?
seem to
Errands,
understand
errands,
that there were
errands,
thousands
errands?
of
Are you
people
finished those
watching him.
errands?
When he was there, he spent half the time ignoring the things Q.U.B.E and Smokey were saying so he could focus on the chat, which obviously kept trolling him and trying to get his attention. As for the interviewers themselves, they went back and forth in a healthy medium between grilling him on some of his controversies and having their fun. They started off by trying to get him to do a house tour, or at least a room tour, both of which Nova was unwilling to do, most likely because the entire thing is insanely messy. They then questioned him about this supposed 15-year-old manager, where he was very hesitant to reveal much of anything, simply saying that she was in full control of his Instagram.
So we had heard that you were apparently being flirty with this Sia girl, and she was 15, was it?
Damn, I whipped it.
Once again, she had like pretty much full control over my Insta.
Yeah.
Why does she have full
seemed
control
like
of your
there was a little
Instagram?
bit of a flirtatious vibe between you guys, you know? Yeah, because it came out that she was like 15. Like, do you just have anything to say about that? We're just these are
The walking controls on moving objects is a little wonky.
Nova, you gotta quit dodging the fight. You gotta talk to us. If we're gonna have you on, you gotta talk to us, Nova.
Sorry, I just got a spam text from something called Style C.
Oh.
Ah, okay, I get it now. I get it now. I get it now. I get it now.
Someone sent it to my phone.
Notably, he doesn't deny how old she was at this time, meaning he either lied before about her being 18 years old, or he learned that she was actually 15 and had no problem with that. The running theme was that he didn't really want to engage with them in any question they had in good faith. He refused to answer for any of his real controversies, including when he had sang a lullaby to who he thought was a 14-year-old girl. When it was brought up, he just completely shut down, leaving the call just before it was about to play, and then never addressing
You should not
in the end,
serenade
even the two
14-year-old
hosts agreed
girls.
It was a bit of a disaster, as the most entertaining part
Probably
of it was
avoid
controlled
that.
by everyone and not having the mentality to understand that he was being played. Amazingly, he actually stayed friendly with Q.U.B.E and Smokey for a few weeks after this, though. Later on, he spoke to Q.U.B.E about wanting to change the name of his podcast, and he came up with the name Too Low for Genius, imitating the name of Q.U.B.E and Smokey's show, Too High for Stupid. He later announced he would be renaming the podcast to Kiwi Core, referring to Kiwi Farms or Kiwi Tapes. Basically, he himself was planning to start a channel where he covered lolcows, despite him being one himself. I guess it would.
Well, I mean, there's no rule against
The
that.
table, for sure. Quickly, the duo started testing just how far they could take this friendship. A few days after Nova made his announcement of his podcast, Smokey tagged a Twitter account belonging to a music artist that Nova liked, trying to get Nova noticed by calling him a and claiming he had said some very mean things about them. He tweeted at the account
When
for a while,
Smokey is calling you out, you need to do some introspection.
live around the same time,
Seriously.
and once he realized what was going on, he looked beyond devastated.
I feel like no one gets, and I'd probably be better off dead.
It's at this point where we see this beautiful, blossoming three-way bromance unfortunately come to an end.
There's no laws about the lolcows, Batman. I can do whatever I want.
Then showed his phone and revealed he was actually
Wings does it on Lolcow Live.
Time,
Exactly.
at
Yeah,
which point
exactly.
Smokey said this.
Come across an experience. The storm has cleared up and, well, there's life here. There's water and plants. This doesn't look accidental either. The structure of the space, the organisation of it looks purposeful. Reminds me of my husband.
Although he was heartbroken, he didn't have time to dwell on this for too long, because for the last few months, Nova had been neglecting his greatest passion, being a Discord moderator. His original Discord server had been locked down for several months now due to constant harassment, and the one he had made in April ended up getting wiped clean by none other than Thoughtless, his at one time dear Discord kitten. But in late September, he finally made another attempt.
I want a
Fulfilling the
Discord
prophecy.
kitten. Where can I get one
Just
of
like
those?
the prophecy foretold, he screwed it all up again. At the beginning of September, Nova lost his job, but immediately got accepted into a different position elsewhere. To his credit, he did manage to keep this workplace under wraps for the most part. That was until he made a new Discord, where he was
I'll
once
be
again
right
all
back.
too
I'm gonna
comfortable sharing
refill
some
my
very
water
private
and
information.
use the
He
restroom.
proudly shared a picture from his place of work. Within a few days, people found out the exact location he worked.
I'm already
at.
on
A few
chapter
days
4.
later,
What the
he was
fuck?
fired.
All right.
To show the trolls who was boss, he then released another video of him boxing. But this was just the beginning of his Discord troubles. As more people found out about his server, trolls began to flood in, and about 2 days after he was fired from his job, the server was raided with animal gore videos. Right around the same time, he was busy playing a Harry Potter video game. His mod team was slow to act, and even after his fans spammed him to pay attention, he still seemed unaware of what was going on. The mods did eventually fix the issue, barely stopping the server from being banned by Discord themselves altogether. Going back to his kick streaming, he also used this platform to overshare. He confirmed that he had been fired from his job because his boss was afraid of his online reputation. His mom was supposedly trying to get the job back while he was looking elsewhere. He applied to Walmart, but was promptly denied, and then stated he was expecting an interview with Taco Bell. It was right around this time that being a likable influencer would have probably come in handy, and gosh darn if he wouldn't give it another try. He released the much-anticipated second episode of his podcast where he talked more about Daniel Larson. He did everything the exact same way he had done last time, going over more of Daniel's leaked phone calls. It wasn't much better than the last one, his commentary wasn't very good, but this one is still up if anybody wants to listen to it and see just how riveting his content truly is. While he tried his darndest to make this content creator thing work, his Discord was becoming a disgusting cesspool. As you'd expect, Nova was quite comfortable having minors around, seeing no reason to age-gate the server in any way. Despite that, some people in the server were all too comfortable saying some very weird things, which Nova was entirely unwilling to do anything about. This laissez-faire attitude resulted in what may be the strangest moment of this entire saga. A supposed OnlyFans girl joined the server's voice chat, where she managed to capture the attention of absolutely everyone by showing off her toy collection and even saying that she liked kids. This went on for a solid 3 hours with none of the mods doing anything about it. She was eventually timed out and the voice chat was deleted, as if that would do anything about it. Nova apparently wasn't present, having suddenly disappeared just before this happened, only to reappear saying that he had fallen asleep. This OnlyFans girl was eventually dealt with, and Nova made a brief announcement where he gave a hearty FU to Q.U.B.E Farms before saying that the behavior in the voice chat was unacceptable. He also claimed he had been unavailable because he was taking a nap. The server was briefly locked down, and he promised to further ban anyone who engaged in not safe for work behavior. By this point, there had already been a lot of pressure on him to make it an 18+ server, and this only sent these demands into a fever pitch. After endless attempts to convince him, he finally conceded, saying he would start working on a new server that was actually 18+. Keep in mind, he wasn't going to delete the current server or anything, meaning the issue wouldn't be solved, he was just now going to have another stupid Discord server. I mean, you can't expect Nova to not want to spend time with minors. It's his greatest passion, aside from weightlifting, of course. Much of the discussion from the server was screenshotted and then reviewed on Q.U.B.E Tapes' podcast. Nova obviously became aware of this, and in true Nova online fashion, threatened to destroy their careers. To everyone coming from Q.U.B.E stream, just know that I'm about to ruin their whole careers. Watch out. Their time is numbered. Some people must have taken this threat somewhat personally because this was followed by a sudden reappearance of the anonymous Q.U.B.E Farms user and his hacker buddies, who then forcibly took ownership of the server and exposed more of the degeneracy going on. As you'd expect, Nova wasn't taking this too well. In messages, he was once again threatening self-harm and ignoring his fans.
How does one judge what is the weirdest part of any of this?
Which was hosted by
You know, that's a really good
spent
question.
the entire time going over all of Nova's misdeeds. At this point, more messages were also released of Nova talking about how dire the situation had gotten. In response to someone saying, "Well, of course healing takes time, but I'm sure you'll recover," he says, "I doubt it. If I don't recover, my next home will be the graveyard. I don't have a job, I only have a few friends who care, and I have severe trauma. My career is over at this point." Eventually, most people from the server were kicked, with the majority of them assuming that it had been fully deleted. Nova released an update the same day, saying he wouldn't open another server for at least 1 to 2 months. He also promised to once again prove the trolls wrong about something. And the reason I say it that way is because he never said what it would be. He just kind of vlogged about how he would own them. Their time is numbered. At the time, there were a lot of unanswered
Gotta
questions
own the
about
trolls.
who
It's
was
really
responsible
important.
For what. One person, Discord Bunnies, was accused of being the OnlyFans girl responsible for the whole fiasco, with some users on KF thinking that she was Nova's girlfriend. This was then countered by a friend of Bunnies who revealed the true identity of this girl, which we've already gone over. The next few days were not easy on Nova. More and more messages got leaked, showing him talk about how his career was basically toast. It also brought more attention of his habit of talking to underage people, with one YouTuber, Bizarre, reaching out to one of the minors from the server to discuss their relationship with Nova. This anonymous person shared screenshots of their messages.
Why are there minors on your
threatened his
server?
own life, and generally was way too comfortable seeking emotional support from the child.
It's
Even
fucked
if his
up, bro.
feelings could have been seen as valid. In one of the screenshots, after DMs started being leaked to other places, Nova curiously asked if their conversation had been leaked, meaning it was like.
And that goes to say, if you're under the age of 18 on my server, get the fuck
The most
out.
remarkable part of the video is when he says he got a new job. and instead of immediately doxing himself again, he says he can't talk about it. Finally, he learned. But sadly for him, the info got leaked anyway. I'll let you guess what happened next. Did he keep the job or did he get fired? You'd be right, you are a freaking genius, he got fired. He had apparently applied to work at McDonald's again, who outright rejected him. With him back to total NEET status, he started streaming the Harry Potter game regularly, with every single stream being the exact same. Him playing the game in almost dead silence, and occasionally addressing the trolls in his chat or on forums. He was still active on Discord, of course, where he hadn't learned his lesson about publicly talking about his diaper interest. Throughout 2024, the activity of the trolls was heating up to the point that it was honestly going way too far. There were numerous
You know,
instances of
like,
these trolls finding
as
Nova out
fucked
in the wild
and weird as it is, like,
one of them in particular came to Kiwi Farms promising some juicy info about seeing him at a bus stop, in restaurants, etc. He claimed to have confronted
you're allowed to like weird stuff, but like, can you not involve minors in it in any way? That'd be pretty
The
cool.
mother apparently denied any of her son's wrongdoing, and even when shown the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star clip, she told this random person that they could agree to disagree. He also went to Nova's old house, where he was greeted by a brand new family, completely unrelated to Nova, including a mother and 4 kids. The mom spoke to this troll, sharing that her house was still being regularly harassed because of Nova's trolls. One time, she recalled that a
That's
van
not good.
full of people drove up to her house. This story eventually got back to Nova, who was understandably pretty scared, but God's bravest soldier wasn't about to take these threats lying down.
What the f up with these weens? I swear to God. They're actually getting out of hand at this point. If they're literally going into a van armed out
You wish you were a minor.
As for the troll that went to Nova's house, he basically turned out to be a bit of a stalker. He had thoroughly documented Nova's daily schedule and even took photos of him on public transit. Although clearly passionate, he was rightfully criticized for taking things way too far. Then again, Nova couldn't learn his lesson. In December, it was discovered he had created yet another Discord server, and within days of it being up, it was already flooded with minors. To address the issue, Nova curiously asked them to leave instead of just banning them all outright. Obviously, this didn't work, and the server is still
just
full
ban
of
them.
kids. But Christmas time was fast approaching, and Nova was feeling the holiday cheer. He slowed down his video production to a crawl, leaving his diehard fans very worried. But to ease their fears, he
What a
uploaded
fucking
TikTok
creep.
explaining why he wasn't uploading so much, which boiled down to him having some mental health issues. That being said, he did start uploading on YouTube a lot more, including this video where he announced his second channel.
If you get there, we can figure out the best way to get you to the peak.
No, there's nothing wrong with the volume on your computer. He just uploaded the video without any sound and didn't bother to re-upload it because he's lazy. I mean, just look at his room. You don't need me to tell you this.
And seem to perform tasks with no need for external input. A cybernetic system of sorts, reacting and adapting. The gloves were built to change that, or at least divert its functions temporarily.
But what's their purpose?
All I know is that we had to stop that vessel from colliding with Earth. The structure you're in, God knows what they're used for. Anyway, let's focus on finding that beacon as soon as possible.
Okay. Not knowing
Of course,
things is
none of this
useful.
was helping his financial situation too much, and since he was still unemployed, he started begging for money during live streams. He did it 2 weeks after unboxing his brand new PlayStation 5 Slim, which was $500, so it's hard to see how he's so strapped for cash when he's able to afford an expensive gaming console, but it is what it is. And by that, I mean that just a few days after e-begging, he went on a shopping spree at Barnes & Noble. People in the comment section joked that he must have been approved for a Barnes & Noble credit card and that's how he was paying for this. But he responded by saying he had actually applied but been rejected, probably because he has no income. But it was all okay, because he was soon greeted by great news. Some of his fans had actually set him up with a new job. At least that's what he believed until he found out that he was just being trolled the entire time. Since then, Nova has been dancing on his YouTube channel, planning to play Just Dance every single day of January until the beginning of February 2025. Unfortunately, his moves are failing to dazzle the audience, at least right now. He still does upload to TikTok to this day, to an ever-diminishing pool of viewers. And on one slightly positive note, he did actually manage to clean up his house, which I gotta give him credit for.
Wow.
When I think of Nova, I think of a snake eating its own tail. A clout goblin whose
Ora
desire to be
boros.
liked by the internet is only beaten by his own incompetence. Every attempt he's made to reinvent himself, be it restaurant reviews, gym videos, podcasts, has either crashed and burned in a blaze of bad decisions, or been withered away by his repetition and a brutal lack of creativity. And on top of that, he's also just a creep, so nobody likes him, obviously. But in his mind, he's so delusional that he's one podcast episode away from proving all the trolls wrong, despite all of the definitive proof of his disgusting behavior. In his mind, there's only one last door to open, at which point he'll become a popular and famous e-celebrity and collab with Markiplier. But there truly is no door. There's just a wall, and he keeps banging his head against it over and over and over and over, and with no end in sight. Much like many other reviled people on the internet, the best course of action for him would be to just leave forever. If he left, he'd be able to hold a normal job, and for better
Yeah,
or worse,
but
escape
like,
from the digital
if you leave the internet, then how are you supposed to get all that sweet, juicy clout?
I've been Turkey Tom. Thanks for watching this video about the history of Nova.
You can't get juicy clout
next
working
time,
at Burger
leave me
King.
alone. Or at least until next week when I post again. Bye.
Oh, wrong button. Alright, what's next? What else are we gonna watch tonight? That's a very astute observation and a good question. No idea what to watch. Well, other than this Meat Canyon video, I got nothing else on my list. I'm sure I got shit in my downloads, but that's on my phone. Do we have any more creepy AVDL adjacent content tonight? I don't think so. Well, isn't that disappointing? Alright, I guess we're just gonna listen to nothing. Chris Chan's boring. Like, as interesting as Chris Chan is also boring. Seriously, I can't jump on that? Hold on. There. I don't know if that's how I was supposed to solve it, but fuck it, I did it. Look at this man carrying a cube. Some sort of cubomancer.
Take me.
Take me.
My heart beats.
But I want it to beat
For you.
I want to
Become one.
She said we would become
Become one. Don't leave me on my own.
not without
Her?
Okay.
What?
What is it?
I think it's human, or was. Now I don't know what it is. A statue. And it was saying something. No, not saying. A radio transmission of sorts. I don't know, this is messed up.
Millie, whatever it was, it just means we need to find the location of that signal as soon as possible. Okay? Then we can find a place to rendezvous.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. Let's just keep going, okay?
Yeah, I'm sure I can trust you.
Welcome, everybody, to the loudest podcast down the internet. I'm your host, Asterios Kokodos. With us, as always, is Sarantia.
Hello.
I keep getting pulled over by the cops.
Yeah, what's the deal with that?
You were there that one time.
I was. That was fucked up.
Yeah, okay. Look, I'll tell the story, but you know, as I've said on the show before, I now understand the plight of the driver.
Not fun at all, and you can't be on your phone. Though you don't listen to that law.
I have
Fair.
stopped playing Hearthstone.
I don't believe you.
I haven't stopped gambling, but I have stopped playing Hearthstone.
Okay.
While driving. Yeah, look, the other day.
I have stopped playing Hearthstone while driving. I've not stopped gambling, but progress.
The median age out here is like 95. Like, we live in Mummyville. Is it fair to say we live in like Mummytown?
Yeah, Tumbleweedville, USA.
Yeah, except there's nobody here. I used to work at the
You think I'm gonna break my legs if I jump down there?
And Joe Garden, three-time national Scrabble champion, was one of my coworkers. And you know how he became a
Good thing it's spongy.
By collecting tumbleweeds, finding inspiration. You know that thing that Chinese ladies do with the tea leaves where they shake them? He would put the tumble sticks together and then use the I Ching.
That's what we call it. That's what my people call it. Yes, the I Ching.
To determine the best words to play. Am I correct?
No, I mean, yes, of course you're right. But he also did something else, which was he had an hour drive to work every morning on the Long Island Expressway. And so he would just stay there at the steering wheel with list after list of 2, 3, and 4-letter words. And instead of paying attention to the road, he would memorize these 2, 3, and 4-letter words.
I hope you know that every time you say something like this in my brain, I'm imagining. Have you ever seen those schizo memes with the guy who's like gripping the steering wheel and his veins are popping out?
Oh yeah,
like
with the
McDonald's app. Open on his phone.
yeah.
You see billboards that say like 5G kills.
Yes, and he's about to hit a kid.
Yeah, Yeah, that's exactly what I imagine when you say you're playing Hearthstone on the road. Is that crying toddler right in front of you as you like move your thing?
Okay, well first off,
Follow
I'm
it,
no
of
longer
course.
playing Hearthstone on the road because the rewards are not very good anymore.
Okay, now imagine that arm gripping
Now
the
that's
ceiling with
a good
carry
point.
because
Yeah.
you're Greek, and there's in front of you there's a toddler with like a shocked face, like you just pointed a gun at him, and then on your screen you see 45-cent bet complete.
Okay, so now, see, thank you for respecting and being authentic to my lived experience. Yeah, what I'm doing, of course, yes, of course, I'm back into arbitrage. Also, I had a relapse, and so now I'm carrying around sobriety tokens. We'll talk about all of that. We'll talk about all that. And I'm sure you'll want to talk about stuff, too.
Yeah.
Big wedding coming up, but,
Something I do like about the Loudest podcast is how tightly edited it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not Valentine's Day when you're listening to this, but hopefully we've enjoyed the beef Wellington we're going to have tonight.
Do you think that, speaking of beef Wellington, do you
I'm gonna
think
turn
that
down
Cobra
the
and I will get back together?
Yes, why not? There's
dialogue
nowhere
because
else
I
for
don't
them
care
to
about
go.
it.
There's no other parking spot. They have biological needs to not be lonely and to occasionally get fucked.
Yeah, no, I unironically do think, I think over time, it's type of thing, you know how they say pregnant women, over time you kind of like, the human brain is very bad at remembering how painful things were, so that's the only reason anybody ever has a second kid, is because you're like, oh, it wasn't so bad, but it is that bad. I think Cobra has a similar thing with her, that he's
Ooh, King
like,
Cobra.
the distance out is equal to a multiplier of how likely if she
Is a
showed up,
corn dog just a poor man's beef Wellington? I would say yes, but I don't know what beef Wellington is.
grants her access to Casper, Wyoming. I think if she showed up at his house today and like begged for his forgiveness, he would let her in.
Yeah, I think he's probably pretty bored today and he would let her in, and then it would all happen again. And of course, we'll talk about King Cobra because I did buy YouTube
King
Premium.
Cobra! I love King Cobra.
Who's ever bought YouTube Premium so that we can fall asleep to King Cobra without our dreams being taken over by those weird ads with the native girl. The girl who's like a half a horse.
Yeah, or Sydney Sweeney, who's now half squash or something.
Yeah, I had no idea you girls stink like this. But every third YouTube commercial is a girl being like, I put it on everything from my pits to my bits. And by bits, I mean vagina. And it's like, how about you don't? I'm just trying to watch a guy throw
Why
up
do you
on
stink
himself
so
here.
much?
Yeah, speaking of watching a guy throw up on himself, if you want more Cobra content, head on over to Patreon.com/serious. Nico and I are going to record a bonus episode soon after Valentine's Day. We're going to read r/relationships and r/am I overreacting the day after Valentine's Day, so tomorrow. So that should have some good content on it.
This is more news.
Corn dogs have to be fried.
Patreon has directly reached out to us.
I would not murder you on a plane. I would not murder you on a train. Cthulhu will find you and bring you pain.
Patreon. But what you need to do
Well, hello,
is you
dead
need to
fool.
go into
Thanks
your
for hopping in.
content library and like make some old premium stuff like live, and then we'll feature it on the front page. And of course, I'm thinking like, I have no idea how you're going to feature our podcast. There's not a visual element to them. A lot of them are about you and a girl who's exactly like you making fun of a guy. Like, what are they going to feature? How are we going to do this?
Oh man, I'm trying to think of best DSJs we could have. The one where we reviewed Blue Velvet was kind of funny, in my opinion.
The DSJs are the best DSJs.
The one where Now went to Casper. We had like an emergency recording. I think that one was pretty funny. We should release that one.
I'm thinking about, okay, we'll definitely do a DSJ. I'm thinking we'll do because I think we recorded a D&D campaign once where it was you and a little tiny pork named Stuffin', and you played an ice witch.
Yeah, that was fun.
Okay.
Huh, okay.
All right. And also I've been going viral lately.
Oh, hell
For the first time in a long time.
We're listening to the Loudest podcast hosted by Asterios Kokonos, if you're not familiar with it.
Not even forget, just like go for too long on one thing. So yeah, more content so you can shut your fucking mouths about it.
Okay, look, I'm trying to tell the story about getting pulled over by the cop.
All right, tell me, why'd you get pulled over now?
Look, so the other day I'm driving, and yeah, look, I'm trying to text the thought cops like that your resume should not be 36 bullets. Like, this is no shame. Okay, I'm not trying to shame the thought cops or blame the thought cops. Am I shaming and blaming?
I don't think so.
Yeah, but it's like,
Well, I don't currently think so. You might be.
Name of the job, and then 3 or 4 bullets. Not just a whole page. I get the instinct. Everybody likes lists.
Honestly,
If you're not a fan of the Dick Show, then I'm not surprised you don't know Asterios.
just like any job application, I think we've evolved beyond the job resume. I thought kids couldn't read anymore. Who's reading my resume if nobody can read? Checkmate, liberals.
I imagine it's like an AI's making your resume, and then another AI is reading it, and if both computers agree, you get the job.
Oh my god, yeah, we need a computer in
Yeah, he used to co-host occasionally on the original Biggest Problem and on the Dick Show for a while before he got into a fight with Dick and then stopped being on his show.
People are doing. Kevin from the Thought Cops, I think he now has a job making people's resumes with computers.
So your computer can hire my computer.
That's what I'm saying. They know best, okay? They know if I'm qualified for the job. So I'm trying to, like, write them back, like, maybe less bullets. But it keeps autocorrecting bullets to, like, bears or brainstorms. And it's like, I know Apple took the gun emoji away and you guys all got upset. It has now taken the word bullet away. And it doesn't always mean don't come to school tomorrow. Sometimes it means maybe not 36. Maybe, like, your resume shouldn't be a BuzzFeed listicle. I don't know. I'm not blaming
I like the
Shane.
puzzles in this game. They're simple.
Pissing me off so bad.
They're simple, but they get more and more complex, which is something I like.
I got a new phone recently, and I don't know. I just feel the Cobra urge. Maybe I've just unlocked it.
The Cobra urge, of course.
Fury.
Everybody always should feel the Cobra urge.
The autocorrect is making
All
me
hail
feel
King
stupid.
Cobra.
I believe that because it does this fucking thing where sometimes it will correct my word, which is a correct word and a word that's spelled correctly.
It's a
but
fan?
An uncommon word. It will change it to something that has nothing to do with anything, even in the context of the sentence. Let me give you an example. I had a phone smashing moment earlier today. I was trying to type the word sating, like thank you.
YouTube is worse than Apple. I'm surprised I got that simple poem to go through.
Something like that, because I talk like a fucking moron. I know, okay? That just train an AI thing to autocorrect to stupidity like that. But it kept correcting it to the word dating. And it did it like 3 times. Even though when I went back and corrected it, I'm like, motherfucker, this isn't even spelled wrong. This is a fucking word spelled correctly and used correctly. Don't correct it.
Okay, I completely agree with you that autocorrect, they poured AI into it, and that's why it's worse now.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding. Like, autocorrect, you could eventually beat autocorrect into submission and get it to do what you wanted. Recently, my phone forgot.
Damn, I just did that to myself like a clown.
And it's like, I've had
My phone forgot Asterios was my name. Whoops.
keep my digital soul trapped in a crystal, and then we put the crystal in each new phone. It's like the crystal knows my name.
Yeah.
Now, listeners, can you tell that maybe this is why we have trouble recording episodes, that we both have ADHD?
Why is this happening?
I've been trying to tell a story of how I keep getting pulled over by cops. And how much of the story have you even told at this point?
I believe...
Has one cop been
None?
introduced?
Not yet, not in particular.
And you know there's 3 cops coming. I'm not going to tell a story called The Stairs Keeps Getting Pulled Over by
What
Cops.
just happened?
It only has 1 cop in it.
Okay, let's hear what happened.
What just happened?
I don't know. I'm going to...
That's not how the Cube Zone works, game. You're just inventing rules now?
Cobra and now are going to get back together. That we're being featured on Patreon. Quote, Asterios keeps going viral. Beef Wellington. Valentine's Day. Our upcoming wedding. What else have we talked about instead of the topic of the show?
I don't know, but it could add more if you want me to.
Okay, what do you got? What's on your mind?
Yeah, what else can we talk about besides the cops?
Wellington. It's just such a rare delight in my life. It feels like a fancy dish, not because like I know it traditionally is associated with being a fancy dish, but because I've only ever eaten it on a cruise before, and that feels like just a special occasion.
You see the Shark Tank episode with like the Wellington ladies, like the women of Wellington.
No, what the hell?
So there's this Shark Tank.
Who?
So these people come out and they're like, everybody loves beef Wellington, but it's really hard to cook. But don't worry, we've cooked it for
Who
you.
should go what so?
Wellington. And all of the sharks, these like billionaire freaks who can like sleep on a bed of people on their hands and knees if they want to. They're all like, I love Wellington. They all got fooled by this like frozen microwave Wellington, and they're all like bidding over it. They're like punching and kicking each other. Like Lori is ripping off faces to get to the Wellington first.
That's so stupid. Do they think that the general public is hurting for Wellington or something?
It's a marker of success. It's something we all want and can rarely have. What do you mean you're making a croissant and a steak at the same time? And not just like any steak,
A croissant
huge,
steak. Ooh.
gigantic, like a steak log. You know how easy it is to burn a croissant? You burn a croissant in a minute. You know how difficult it is to cook a log of steak? That probably takes an hour. How are you doing them at the same time?
Okay, I got an idea. So I go to Shark Tank.
How are you doing them at the same time?
And
It's a good question,
get a single
actually.
item, a single coat, and there's only one of this coat in the world. And I walk in and I hold it up, and you can't see. I'm just holding like this.
Sure.
And I say that only the rich.
This is a confused. Okay, gotcha.
Who wants to bid?
Mr.
She was in a car accident today. Oh no!
Was like, oh well, obviously it's the code for me. I can see it. Beautiful design.
Did she die?
And Lori is like, oh, Kevin is obviously lying because I'm looking at the code right now. So what do you want to talk about? And then they bid
Is Felicia dead again?
they each one.
Or did she die for the
everyone
first
else
time like
is the
Joey?
one that can see the code, but the truth is that there is no code, and they're all embarrassed that nobody.
Not
can.
dead.
It's
That's
the
good.
Emperor's new clothes.
It's the Emperor's New Groove. The Emperor's New, Cusco. Yeah,
I don't think
exactly.
exactly.
Yeah. You know who can't see the code? Damon. I've never seen him bid or buy anything.
Yeah, he is my least favorite one.
It's like, but he's my favorite one because he's in Sharknado too.
Is he?
Could have been bad. Yeah, I mean, I guess everything could have been bad if you really think about it.
And he's there, and he's like, "Hey guys, you can get in my limo." Oh, and then he gets eaten by the sharks, and it's like Shark Tank, Sharknado, Shark Tank. He's one of the sharks.
Oh, I get it. That's funny.
Exactly.
What?
I thought by explaining, I was like, everyone's gonna know this, and I'm like, no, they're probably not. No
What's
one thinks
happening?
about Sharknado except you, Stereos.
Yeah, nobody on the planet actually. Not even the people that were in Sharknado think about Sharknado as much as we did in this last 20 seconds.
Well, speaking, so I'm a Sharknado of the road.
That sucks. Car accident, not death. I hit a moose once. I was fine, but the truck and moose were toast. Well, that's how you know it's a good car, when you can kill a moose and not die.
We're all dead. Small town. You're able to drive wherever you want. I'm making my own lane. Small town. The road is my
How do I
canvas,
cube?
and I'm an artist.
And the alcohol is the music.
This puzzle is currently stumping me.
Blood is the paint, listeners. And so, of course, I'm trying to write to the thought cops, maybe put in less bullets in your resume. And it's not letting me write the word bullets. And then suddenly, like, to my left, I'm like, I see the grill of a car out of, like, the corner of my eye. And it's matching my course and speed exactly. And I'm like, oh, matched course and speed. I know that from Star Trek. Like, it's very dangerous when you're driving at the same course and speed as someone else because you're in each other's blind spot, so I'm going to slow down. So I hit the brakes and I keep trying to write the word bullet. And then I see the grill stop too. And I'm like, this is weird. Well, so I'm like, well, all right, maybe this person's trying to get behind me so they can go to the dump. So I accelerate, and at that point I hear woo, 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 and it's like, and then I fully look to my left, and it's an angry cop.
And you're too busy on your fucking phone.
I'm trying to write the word bullet. There's autocorrect bullshit with the AI. They're putting the AI in the phone. So of course I think to myself, like, as a POC.
My God.
Oh, what? Wait, what's the matter? I'm sorry, did I say something?
I have a paper bag that would like to have a word with you, but anyways, continue.
Wait, what do you think POC stands for?
Keep talking. No, we're not doing this.
Okay, what? It's okay.
Keep talking.
I mean,
Please keep educating me on your plights as a person of color, Asterios.
You thought it meant person of color?
Oh, what do you think it means?
Well, that's wild, right?
Yes!
Yes, person of Chinese. Yeah, I'm a Chinese man.
We're not being good drivers, especially half of us.
That's true.
So it's like, yeah, of course he's pulling me over. You know what I mean? Yeah. He might as well have been banging that gong while he's at it over here and throwing chopsticks at me, playing that great piano song of the same name.
He comes up with a flashlight, shines in the car, and says, good luck everybody else, huh?
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, your eyes are kind of squinting, you know, because he shined the light right in my eyes to see if I was drunk. And he's like, why are you squinting your eyes? And it's like, I'm Chinese, sir. And he's like,
Was she on her own stream or guesting somewhere?
So pulls me over.
That's a good question.
Of course, in my mind immediately is every cop just who pulls you over starts shooting.
Okay.
Like, I don't think I've been pulled over since I was 17. And then it was just because I was driving too slowly and the cop wanted to see if I was okay.
Wow.
And I was very nervous. I'm 17 years old. I'm driving the Cutlass Kalai that my parents gave me, this like red old rectangle, and I'm scared, so I'm driving real slow. And so, so what I do is I catch the cop.
Wait, this happened on stream?
Mirror, and I look at him, and I give him the double thumbs up.
Okay.
Now, do you know why I gave him the double thumb?
That we're not going to Speedway.
No, well, close. So he comes to the window and he's like, "Why are you giving me the thumbs up?" And I go, "Oh, I'm from the city. I'm just trying to show you there's nothing in my
Probably
hand."
shouldn't drive and stream. Was waiting for Joey C to wreck every time. Definition of distracted driving.
Only two big thumbs saying hi.
Honestly, this is what I would do if I had a gun and I was trying to conceal it.
You're just mad you don't have that talent.
I would like flip it downward and be like, see, nothing in my hands, and then boom, bang, bang, bang.
Okay.
Bang, 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 bang.
Look, he was
Please?
equally concerned. And remember before we recorded this when I told you, like, sometimes on the show you ask me if the stories I tell are true. And, like, I think when you ask that, like, it might put doubt in the listener's mind. But I'm going to tell you a story and it is true.
Yeah,
the thumbs. I did do the thumbs up thing.
I believe you. I believe you.
Okay, good. Okay, good. I was so afraid that she would not believe. So the cop's like, "Yeah, I'm not worried about that. Give me your license and registration." He's really furious. So I get the license and registration, and he goes, "Do you know why I pulled you over today?" And I was like, "I've heard that one before. Now I know what to do."
And now I was like, am I being detained?
Yes, exactly.
Am I being detained?
It has taught me that this is a common trick. I forgot that you have to do like a little improv scene with the cop when he pulls you over. And so I was like, no, is something wrong? And he goes, "The phone. You're on your phone." And I don't know if this is what other people would do, but I feel like if you're brutally honest, I feel like if you lie to the cop, they're going to give you a ticket out of spite. So I just go, "I was on my phone, sir. I'm sorry."
Man, all that Reddit just went out the window, didn't it?
I mean, I'm not going to...
Yeah, being honest with the cops helps more often than it doesn't.
It's like, what is it, $140? What is it, like $40? I don't even know what the ticket is. Like, give me the ticket. So he's like, "You're on your phone." I was like, "I'm sorry, officer. Yes, I was. Put it down." And he goes, "Have you ever gotten a ticket before?" I go, "No." He goes, "Do you want one?" And I go, "No, sir." And he goes, "Then knock it off."
What a dickhead.
And he leaves. Dickhead.
Yeah.
I thought this was pretty funny.
A very, very nice guy.
That last bit in there. Like, "Do you want one?" I don't know, asshole. You gonna give me one?
Not really. I would prefer not to have a ticket at the moment. Thank you.
Because I'm like, by not giving me a ticket, he's giving me $100. I will take, and also yelling at me is the only way I'm gonna change.
Texting and driving. You do text and drive crazy. You do need to be yelled at.
Yes.
For that.
I haven't.
I tried. I wasn't fast enough.
I've almost not ever done it since.
It's literally like the meme. Like, you hold the phone out right in front of the road. Like, listener, you ever play Grand Theft Auto 5 and you press the button to engage the cell phone as the car is, like, flying down the highway?
Right, and it just boop. Yeah, that's funny.
Yes, I'm holding up the phone in front of my face so that my left eye can be on the road. I'm trying.
So I can see it. I want to be able to see my phone. That's why I put it in front of my face.
And then just be looking down the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you do it. You look down and you look up and you look down and you hit a kid.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why. Look, I get upset about everything. But it was just funny to run into like a human meme of like the mustache chips cop from the California high, like Lorenzo Lamas pulled me
After
from
I
the
hit the moose, I fell on the ice and asked the cop to hold my rifle while I got up.
"Do you know why I pulled you over?"
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I just thought it was adorable. Now, the next day, you're in the car with me.
Yeah, I remember this one.
Now, the next day, you're in the car.
Do you know why I pulled you over? Never answer that question. I don't know. This isn't a riddle game. I don't know. You tell me, police officer.
One straight line. And it's like, well, the schools have to be on this one road. So you're allowed to go like 60 until there's a school, at which point you have to go 15 miles an hour. Which you like can't tell a car is moving at all if it's moving 15 miles an hour.
Right.
Actually, I think that Einstein theorized that a car moving 15 miles an hour looks like it's going backward.
Your Honor.
And so, but at 6:01, all bets are off. At 6:01 p.m., I can open her up, and I can maybe Mario Karting again. So the clock runs over to 6:01, and I know the clock is right because I've set it to the nuclear clock that's on the internet. And so I'm going 50 miles an hour past the school, and all of a sudden, woo, 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 and this is the next day, and I'm
Hang on, let me pull this up on stream.
now, officer.
What did she crash into? Lamau. Hopefully she's dead. Rip. DeVito'd. What did she hit? What happened here? Well, that, you know, that happened.
Sir, you think it's 5:59 or something? It's 6:01. I'm allowed to go 60 miles an hour. It's 6:01. If there's any kids that are left at the school, they're in detention for being real bad, and we don't care if they get killed.
Right.
Yeah, cop pulls me over, and he goes, pretty unfortunate that I was right there, right? And I was like, that's a much better improv initiation then. Do you know why I pulled you over today? I was like, this guy's trying new and different things.
Right, he's coming at me with a joke.
And so I'm like, no, officer, I don't know why it would be like fortunate or unfortunate. Like, I'm not sure. Is something wrong? Like, I'm asking him, like, is there a tornado? Is there a flood? Like, because clearly you're not pulling me over because I'm a criminal here. And I'm just wait. I keep looking at the clock, looking at him, looking at the clock. I'm waiting for him. Yeah, the school thing. And then he goes, well, you crossed over that double yellow line and went around that car on the right way back there. I saw the whole thing. And I go, but that guy was drunk. Because there's this guy going really, really slowly, and it's a small town. We all go very fast in a small town. Like, officer, that guy was drunk. You should be pulling over him. Now, thank God you were in the car with me so you could back up what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I was wondering when you were gonna tell that part of the story. The part where what led up to this was not you going 50 miles per hour, but you speeding around another car in the opposite lane for about half a football field.
Okay, but I had a straightaway. I had a Mario Kart style straightaway.
Nobody has a straightaway in a one-way lane. They're not in, going the right direction. That's like saying I had a straightaway and then it's the wrong way ramp onto the highway.
Well, you know, Toad's Turnpike goes backwards sometimes. Have you ever heard of me?
Toad's Turnpike?
In that situation, you look 1,000 times more drunk than the guy driving slowly. Even though the guy driving slowly is statistically the one that's drunk, according to nothing, according to just my vibes.
So my future wife starts laughing at me on the right. The cop starts laughing at me on the left. And now I'm getting laughed at by two very powerful authority figures in my life.
You chuckled and I chuckled and he pulled out a gun and emptied it.
Just killed him.
I still don't quite understand why that was funny. Because I'm like, if you're going 40, you're drunk. Who goes the speed limit? It's the biggest red
Who
flag.
goes the speed limit? Insane people.
Irony, because the cop walked up there and he was bracing himself with the DUI test. He was probably like, oh, I'm gonna make this guy 9-step and spin 7 times. I've had a rough day. I'm gonna make him count the alphabet backwards from you or something.
So he starts laughing, and then he like goes to his car for a second, and he clearly sees I have like no warrants or tickets, and he comes back and he's like, just respect the rules of the road, and then he leaves. And I'm angry at this cop. The first cop had a certain charm to him. This bald, manlet fuck of a
I
cop,
usually go 7 over. That's my comfortable limit, 7.
It's like, here's here's the thing. If the cop had said, you know what, he probably was drunk. I just happened to pull you over. I would have been fine with it. Also, and if he'd given me a ticket, I would have been fine with it. What I want is for him to agree with me that it's okay to go around a double yellow line if the guy's...
No, it's not okay to break the law because some guy is pissing you off. You should do it anyway, but it's not okay.
I think the guy personally was kind of disappointed that you weren't drunk. I could kind of hear that in his voice. But here's what I want to ask: is the first cop that pulled you over, how much hair did he have?
No, he had a really...
Oh, that's a rude
That's
question.
very bald. I don't think you like bald people telling you what to do. That's why you don't like Nathan Masry.
Oh, God, that fucking guy. Oh, God, that's another thing. And there's a new episode of Naisfield out. And then also, like, now he's joined some sort of, like, anti-trans Canadian, like, right-wing party. And then, all month long, Nathan's like, we love Trump, we love Trump, we love Trump. And then the moment America starts talking about invading our neighbors, it's like, yeah, you see up there, Nathan Masry, what have I been telling you about this Trump guy?
You can't come here. You tried that. It failed.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, was there ever a Scooby-Doo? No, I don't think so. I think we had to get that shipped from
Technically 9, since my speed reads 1 higher than actual. Is that because you have incorrectly sized tires?
Canada?
Scooby-Doo Eats is of what did have American delivery, but it was $75.
Damn.
Because we thought it was funny that it cost more to send it to us than it did to buy the meat. Yeah, all right. So then, look, of course, blah, 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 blah. I get pulled over again because I'm going too slowly. And so, like, that's the third time I get pulled over. The cop's like, we've been seeing your car. Like, it's just we wanted to make sure you're okay because you're driving very differently now. And I'm like, because I'm driving more slowly. I know. And of course, like,
I know.
I think to myself, like, I get why.
He's getting bullied by his small town police.
It was the third time I got pulled over that unlocked. The first 2 times, like, yeah, pull me over, give me the ticket, I deserve it. The third time, and it's because I'm not breaking any laws. It's because I guess I'm like the driving lol cow of our town, kind of like how all those cops know who King Cobra is.
Wait a second. Are you telling me that a cop pulled you over because you were driving too slowly?
Yes.
Oh my God! Tell me about that.
That's the whole.
That's the whole story.
The story is that I'm sitting there furious. No, that's the story. Story is I got pulled over a third time, and then I'm like, kind of like, I guess I'm becoming like a known quantity in the town. And there's also an open mic.
You're that guy that gets pulled over in the town.
It's a very small town.
See, they're hearing you, and now they're intentionally targeting your car.
It's yeah, but I would also do the same thing. I would fish where the fish are.
I would do the same thing, and because of that, I'm not too mad, but I'm also like, fuck you.
My life is ridiculous. I know my life is ridiculous. It's weird to be trapped in a sketch comedy show. That's my own life.
Like Joe pulls Peter over for driving 5 miles over the speed, or for texting and driving. Joe pulls Peter over for texting and driving, and Joe's like, "I'm sorry, Peter, I have to give you a ticket." And then Peter spitefully tries to follow all the rules of the road to the point where he's driving like 5 miles under the speed limit when it's raining, and Joe gets out of his car and he's wheeling fast through the car. He's like, "Peter, come on, hurry up." He's like, "What, Joe? I'm just following the rules of the road."
That's an episode of Family Guy, or are you making up an episode of Family Guy?
No, I'm making one up.
Episode of Family Guy.
Because you know that's what I started doing and I forgot, right?
Oh, okay.
So I have started.
Ever call the cops on yourself? I did once. Not that I know of, no.
Pulled over, I say, "Oh, you want me to follow the rules?"
Alrighty, gotta be up in a few hours. Have fun, everyone. Well, don't feel like you're gonna miss out on too much, because after I solve the next puzzle, I'm probably gonna hop off too. Because I want to get up and game in the morning, so I don't want to be up too late.
10 and 2, officer, and now I'm spite following the rules of the road.
I think we as a nation do need to have a conversation about how the speed limits are too low.
25 miles an hour? Where?
25 is way too slow.
I feel like those signs were only made for the
25 is way too slow.
It's like, you know how people are always talking about gun laws? They're like, oh, you have a right to a musket. You don't have a right to, gun technology has advanced past the law. Well, car technology has also advanced past the law. And also, there's no kids on the highway anymore. So let's speed it up. Come on.
Come on. Also, these cars have this control. They can control their speed of cruising. These cars drive themselves.
I think there should be a minimum speed limit of 60 on the highway.
Thank God, yes.
Doing 10 and 2. I'm driving 15 miles an hour exactly past the school. There are big lines of cars behind us now, true or false?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, huge lines of cars. And for me, I'm like, how many cars can I line up? Don't blame me. Blame the town municipal council town supervisor for doing this. And
He's just being a cunt about the road.
10 and 2 that I didn't even realize until like yesterday that I'm giving the cops what they want. I think I'm getting one over on the cops in the town by spitefully maliciously complying with the rules of the road, but actually I'm making all the cops' jobs easier because they don't have to mop any blood off the streets.
Yeah, I was gonna say you probably are the one people that you want to hurt the cops is like the one person who you're not hurting. Because, you know, that also slows down traffic a bunch, too, so they can sit in their car and keep playing Candy Crush instead of wiping blood off the road.
There's no good speed to go, is what this whole thing is taught me. When I'm following the rules of the road, I get pulled over as a wellness check by Officer Nasty. When I go too fast, I get pulled over. When I cross a double yellow line and speed past another car during a snowstorm, it was snowing, by the way, at 80 miles an hour, I get pulled over. This is what it's like being driving when you're a person of Chinese.
Okay, question, and be honest with me. Were you preoccupied in any way with any device when you were pulled over for a wellness
maybe.
check? Is it possible that you were texting, but instead of going too fast, now you were going too slow?
No, I've stopped. I really have stopped texting because I just it's not worth the $100. It's like none of the texts I'm sending.
He came driving through the yard, checking out employee vehicles, then went out into the field road out back looking for me.
Yells at me, it works. If you
Oh, like an automotive garage.
Stop texting and driving.
I did.
Well, good job. I'm glad I took a police officer.
Or just like your house garage.
Take that. And since this, have you stopped texting and driving?
Well, yes, because football season's over and there's no more that's where all the good gambling is.
Really? Is it basketball not as profitable?
I mean, basketball, you need to really be paying attention to basketball and you need to be watching it live because almost every basketball game comes down to 2 points for some reason. Even if it's the worst team versus the best team, I don't know what it is about basketball. Like with football, you got a pretty good sense of who's going to win. I mean, you knew the Eagles were going to win so bad that you went to Philadelphia in advance to watch them win.
Hell yeah.
You want to tell the story?
Oh, yeah, it was so great. Philadelphia was great. I went down to Philadelphia for the Super Bowl. It was so much fun. I stayed with my friends who live there. Yeah, it was great.
Exactly.
I don't know if my brain is... I think I have a chip in my brain or something because I keep seeing Luigi Mangione everywhere. I don't know if that's what the default Zoomer Broccoli head look is, but everywhere I turned, there was 4 Luigi Mangiones. It was fucking what's that movie? The Oompa Loompas. It was like I was in Willy Wonka's factory and there were CEO shooters all around me. I saw 4 of them carrying a street lamp.
After the adrenaline wore off and I realized I knew who it was, I felt guilty and called the state police and tell them to come back. He's like, hey, you sucked at catching me. I just wanted to let you know that I defeated your ass and this is where I am if you want to come and get a rematch.
What's it called? You know, those posts?
Yeah, now when you say street lamp, one might think a small lamp that might illuminate a small part of the street. I think you mean one of the giant ones on the highway.
Right, exactly. It had been felled by I don't know who, but there were 4 Luigis carrying it, Paul Bear style.
They were taking it home like a trophy.
I don't know what they were doing with it. It was great, but let me tell you, there were so many fucking cops out. I was amazed anything happened. It was clean as a whistle up until the end of the game because there were just lines. First of all, they shut the subway down in Center City, which that is fucking crazy. Why on earth would you? That's like begging.
Oh, okay, easy.
It's I honest to God think if anybody got arrested for drunk driving after the Super Bowl, you should fight it in court as a honey.
It almost always does. Being like I was saying earlier, being honest with the cops almost is always an advantage.
No subway access. Why would you do that?
Okay, I think I know why they turned off the subway.
Why?
So that people wouldn't push each other in front of
I
the
don't think that's
subway.
how I was
Like,
supposed to
"Go
solve
birds,
this
go
puzzle,
birds."
but
Here's what I imagine happening. Two Philly fanatics
fuck it, I did it.
arguing over who likes the Eagles the most, to the point where one of them turns the other one into Subway pizza.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, that's a risk you gotta take, though.
True.
Yeah, so disappointingly, they had everything pretty under control until the last couple minutes of the game when everybody started to spill onto the road, and then things got pretty crazy.
I heard that you had some sort of train altercation.
Oh, yeah, I did. This was great. Oh, my God. Okay, so every single time, let me tell you, listeners. Let me first of all finish. So I didn't see anything super nuts after. I was hoping I would see, like, somebody would throw a brick through the window of a Sephora or something so I could run inside and get some essentials. But no, nothing like that happened. The last time I was in Philadelphia to see the Super Bowl, I was in college, and I saw some guy. Just this image is, like, permanently burned into my brain. I was just sitting at some random bar, and I look outside, and I guess something negative had happened in the game because there was a gentleman across the road who was just so mad. He had an entire pint of Guinness, and he just throws it at the window of an Ace Hardware. No, an Advance Auto Parts.
Awesome, awesome.
And cracks the window and then walks away.
Yeah, well, fuck that beer and fuck you. The Eagles lost, and everyone has to suffer. Or maybe the Eagles won, and he just wanted to throw. Either is a great excuse for trying to crack a window.
Anyways, so if you're ever in Philadelphia, I would. 10 out of 10,
what just happened? What just happened?
Philadelphia, that's 0 out of 10, and that is the subway. Have you ever ridden the subway in Philadelphia? It's
I just got video gamed.
One time I tried to, and someone was like, okay, you can ride the subway for this long with this token, but when you get to this station, you have to switch from the token to the card, because that's not the subway, that's the SEPTA, and that's a different thing. And I was like, I'm just gonna get an Uber. Like, I'm not buying 3 different tickets
Lame.
to go, because the train also looks like
I don't know what is happening with the physics of this shit, but it is breaking like it's not supposed to.
terrifying 1980s, like that scene from Star Trek 4 where Spock is on the bus surrounded by punks.
Yeah, people talk shit on the New York. Fox News loves to sit there and talk about the New York City subway. I've taken the subway in New York City at this point maybe 1,000 times. Nothing has ever happened to me of note. Like, nothing has happened. Every single time I take the train in Philadelphia, which is infrequent, very rarely will I, because I just Uber everywhere. Unless, the only time I take it is when Ubers are, like, crazy and everybody's outside, which is
Okay, so these are the physics of this thing is very finicky.
some type of fuck shit happens. I don't know how, but without fail, every single time. So this time, on Philadelphia subway, I'm hanging out with friends, and I experienced something that I did not think exists in stereo. I experienced anti-white racism.
What?
I was accosted for my race in the subway of the...
Well, you should have thought about not being white.
I'm minding my own business. There's a
No, that's what I'm supposed to do. I was just
smoking a blunt, like in the train car.
sloppily using the mechanics of the bridge and fucking it up.
This guy gets in the train and starts like screaming at the general public. I don't know what he was talking about. He was talking about something. But then he turns and he looks at me and we lock eyes for a moment. Big mistake. And so when he engages me, I start paying attention to what he's saying.
Oh, no!
He's like,
Oh, another
What
statue.
are you looking
Hey, what's
so
up?
fucking scared for? Are you scared of black people? And I'm sitting there.
To knock her away. She needs medical attention. And she needs to be looked after. You don't know what you're dealing with, James. So just do me a favor and drop the management bullshit.
Okay.
I'm like, what?
You're with your friends who are actual people of color
Who are
as well.
not helping at all, by the way.
No, that's what you got to do. Keep your head down. They followed the rules. You didn't.
I know I've said it, but goddamn, this game just looks so good. The textures and the lighting are just insane.
Or start recording. Like, there's nothing else you can do. So I don't even blame him anyway. I'm like, what? you think because I'm a black person, I'm a criminal, I'm gonna attack you? I'm like, I'm not afraid of you, man. What are you talking about? And then he goes off on this rant about colonialism or something. Like I'm colonizing the subway by nature of just being on the train. And
You should have not been white. That's offensive to people.
But I do remember the line, but you know, you are white. And so at that point, I'm like, okay, I need to diffuse this. So I look at him, I'm like, so who do you think is going to win the game tomorrow? And he's like, oh, birds, definitely. I was like, you got any money on it? He's It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna walk away with $20,000 fucking dollars if XYZ parlay comes through.
Yes!
So I imagine to defuse this racial tension with the Eagles. And let me tell you, that was really, that
Supposed to go all the way
interaction
up.
was just the symbol for the whole weekend. We were the closest we've ever been to.
Your skin color is insulting to me. I hate you because of it.
You could just wander around screaming at people. Everybody was sharing any type of substance they had. My friend was so drunk, she like stopped the guy and asked for a hit off his blunt, and he gave it to her.
Of course, it's like Christmas. The Eagles won. I did not think the Eagles were going to win. I bet heavily against the Eagles.
It's just, as an adult, you get so few occasions when it's socially acceptable to just run around outside and scream at other people. And it was great. As long as what you were screaming was, go Birds, you could do it.
Look, I think it's incredible that, like, you managed to diffuse this tense situation with 2 words. Go Birds. But, I mean, look, I'm saying this for the listener, okay? I'm not worried about it, but I know the listener, it's like it's itching in their brain. What was his parlay? Like, did he have money on Kels? Did he have money on Saquon?
Shit, did I fuck that up?
Did he outline the 7 steps of the parlay to you?
He did, but I know so little football that I couldn't remember it. He was like,
Shit, did I fuck that up?
I know, I hope it came. I almost wanted to go find him. He like, yeah, so how did that turn out?
Yeah, goddamn.
And then as I was getting off the train, I was like, well, I hope all your parlays come through. And he puts his hand on my shoulder and he says, that means
I missed that car. It drove like it was on rails, which I assume is a good thing.
Wow, this must be what Rosa Parks felt like.
Oh my god. Okay, I gotta catch my breath.
Was I sitting in the wrong color car? Was that it?
Look, they made a big deal with the Super Bowl by taking the words "end racism" out of the end zone. But maybe it's okay to take those words out because racism was ended by you, Sriracha. Anti-white racism was ended by you.
That was the first time. You ever have something happen like you in public and you're like, you're too stunned to speak?
Yes, of course.
I can't interact with this through this wall.
I'm sitting there and I know in my brain that what is not the right answer to this, but it's all I can keep saying.
All right, well, look. Speaking of what are we gonna do?
Please.
I gotta take a quick break, real quick. I'm sweaty as hell. I gotta get more coffee. We will be right back after this.
Wow, what am I doing wrong?
Podcast. Woo! Welcome back, Loudest Podcast. So, in addition to our ADHD, which was on display pretty heavily at the beginning of this episode. Woo! Like another reason why that I
Oh wait, hold on.
Rancho
Fuck.
does it, by the way. You put a microphone and the camera in front of her, and she's a jukebox. You put a quarter in her, wind her up, and she'll.
Why am I
say the
dumb?
funniest shit you've ever heard.
Yeah, not to shell too hard, but we do a DSJ every month, I think.
Yes, of course you do.
I think we're on like a 6-month streak at this point.
DSJ has lapped. The bonus show has lapped the main show at this point. But it's like, look.
Dark Side Jills. Gotcha.
Confidence. Like, for a long time, I've thought to myself, like, the only reason anybody has ever paid attention to me at all was because a guy sued me. And nobody likes your comedy. They just see you as like a charity case.
A guy sued me. You mean Maddox? Yeah, Maddox did sue you for $20 million. That is something that happened.
Nobody really cares if you make content or not. They just generally like the idea that you're alive out there.
And also, they're too lazy to cancel it.
That too. And so, but I had a shot of confidence the other day because I've had a couple of things go viral. I haven't had anything go viral that wasn't related to the destruction of my life in like 10 or 15 years. I'm gonna walk you through some of these things. And I mean like real things. The other night, it's 3 in the morning, I can't go to sleep. And it's right after the Luigi Mangione shooting. It's like in November. It's right after Luigi did that awesome thing that we all are still pretty excited about.
Very based.
And
what do I do?
Front page of Reddit, I can't sleep, I'm worried. I'm like, nobody likes me, my comedy's bad, I don't do any comedy, I'm a bad person.
And Luigi's gonna rot in jail.
And poor sweet Luigi's out there making change, and what are you doing, Coconuts, with your dick in your hand? And so, I'm on the front page of Reddit, doom scrolling, and what's on the front page of Reddit, but it's a...
I have been defeated by this puzzle now.
It's like, it says like before and after, and it's on the front page of r/anti-war. And the before tweet, it's like before Luigi Mangione pulled the awesome thing, it's like, there will be a civil war. Civil war is coming. Pretty exciting, huh? It says Elon Musk. And then the tweet after is Elon Musk tweeting, killing CEOs is not, quote, based, actually.
Yeah, it actually is.
Yeah, and I'm like, I wrote that tweet. I wrote that second tweet. I went to like faketweetmaker.com and I posted that on my Twitter. They got like 50 likes or something, and that was it. And I thought that was it. And the next thing you know, people think this is real. I created disinformation.
I was gonna say, is everybody in the comments being like, wow, really shows you his true face, this real tweet. I'm incredibly smart. Anyways, let's make fun of Trump people for believing everything they see on the internet now.
Yeah, people are always like, oh, these Trump people, just take a screenshot of it and they think it's real. Someone took a screenshot of my fake tweet, brought me out of it, of course.
Of course.
So it's on the front page of Reddit, 30,000 updates. It's on r/antiwork, the most based subreddit there is, the one that's constantly telling you to quit your job no matter what for any reason, and also lawyer up and sue your boss no matter what. And I go in the comments and everyone's like, I can't believe you said that. We gotta get this guy. Now the shoe's on the other foot. And I
We
think,
did it!
well, these are my fellow libderals.
All right, cool.
Surely
We did it.
they'll listen to reason. So I go in there and I'm like, hey, Asterios Kodos here. I'm actually a comedian. I wrote the bottom tweet. The bottom tweet is a fake tweet. You know, this is a funny post. I like that you guys made a funny post. So I don't want people to feel bad. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm like, you know, and I linked to the fake tweet I made.
Downvote.
So I get downvoted to oblivion, and also I get accused of like stealing it.
Oh, okay, stealing it from Elon Musk.
From Elon Musk. They're like, just because you have a post of you posting Elon Musk's tweet doesn't mean that Elon didn't make the tweet. Why are you trying to take credit for this?
Oh my god, the 4D chess Asterios, you took a screenshot of a tweet that Elon Musk made that nobody saw, and you posted it on your Twitter account with the caption, I made this up to set it up when months from now r/antiwork would take a screenshot or grab, I guess, just the JPEG part.
Just the part that was useful to them.
Post it as real, and then you can come in with your smug comeuppance.
Yes.
Your plan was foiled. You think you could fool the 200 IQ users at Anti-Work?
Look, obviously, I'm not really good at games. Like, if I was, I would have beaten Hearthstone by now. So, like, yeah, I'm not playing four-dimensional chess. I was just, like, trying to get a couple laughs. So I'm in there, and I'm arguing with them, and so I'm saying, like, well, the easy way to prove this would be to go to Elon Musk's Twitter and find the tweet that he made, find that he made this. And they're all saying, like, you can't just prove a negative. Why are you making me do the work? This is gish galloping. You ever heard of gish galloping?
No, but it seems like something that somebody would say when you ask them to...
Yeah, right. It does seem like it's something that somebody would say about something.
Straw manning, which is also old. Like, straw manning is old. It was gish galloping was this thing where it's like if you were trolling someone, you asked them to go find 3 sources, so they would go waste their time, like, looking up scientific papers while you're just trolling other people. And it's like, wasting their time is the point of it. So, like, they're accusing me of this thing. I'm like, I haven't heard that. That's a Usenet term. Why do you know what gish galloping is? And, it doesn't just go viral on the front page of Reddit, so I do a reverse image search of my own fake tweet. And by the way, how do you not know it's fake? This is the exact text of the tweet. It is not, quote, based to kill CEOs, actually. Why would someone write, in a tweet? It's a filler word. It's a stutter word. Have you ever, I know Elon says and all the time because
He does like to yell, doesn't he? Yes, that's Asterios' whole personality is yelling. That is his defining character trait.
Giveaway is him using the word based correctly. Like, I don't think Elon Musk could use, like, I understand putting in quotes was a nice touch, but I just don't think I think it's gonna take 90 more days at least before he learns the word base. He just got to Keck.
I was about to say
He just got to Keck.
Changed his name to Keckius Maximus.
Keck is like 2016. He's 9 years behind. Based was what, like 4 years ago? He needs way more time.
Yeah, I know. Just today, or yesterday rather, on the 13th, he changed his Twitter username to Harry Balls. H-A-R-Y.
I mean, that is kind of funny.
That's like from the 60s.
Yeah, what a sick joke. Is humongous coming up next?
Well, you know, that would be funny.
Like, I would have to look up all these old, like, Bart Simpson pranking Moe's Tavern fake names.
It's crazy to me how fucking lame he is on the internet. Like,
Yeah, it is insane how lame he
side
is.
of my brain is telling me, oh, it's because he's busy and old. So it's like two things you would never expect. Those two classic, like the Venn diagram of people you'd expect to be terminally online, and those two is barely passing each other. But then on the other hand, he like wants it so fucking bad. It's like a dad who devotes every second of his off hours to building model boats, and then just gets no better at building model boats year after year.
One time we were driving, and on the rare occasion where I wasn't being pulled over by the police, you said all he wants is to be able to post.
And he can't do it.
Yeah, you were like, he can't post. If he could post, he wouldn't need to be doing all this shit. All right, but anyway.
I bet Elon Musk will start using the word "fent" 3 years from now.
I believe
Nice.
he will. That's a very good point. That's a really good point. All right, so it's like this. So I do a reverse image search of this fake Elon Musk tweet I write, and thank you, by the way, for realizing that when you put "based" in quotes, it means you're joking. It's on Boomer. It's kind of been my character for 5 years to be like a young guy who's pretending to be old, but he is actually old, and he really is out of touch, and he's pretending to be out of touch, but he also is out of touch. That's why I put it in quotes. And so I do a reverse image search. It's gone viral on like a huge trans Facebook community called like religious memes for transgender teens.
Oh my god.
What?
So I get in there and I'm like,
Why?
hey guys, I'm down with the cause. You know what I mean? I'm with you. I'm simpatico, okay? But also, this is fake, and I just want to let you guys know because, you know, here on the left, we try to kind of be more sanitary with their information, and they're all like,
Wow,
accusing
whiff.
me of dick riding for him. Or the other thing they're saying is, well, even if it's fake, it's still the kind of thing he would say.
Yeah, no, it really says something about this society, the fact that I was completely got.
And I know that's the meme, right?
Literally doing the meme.
I know that's the
You
meme.
get
because,
gotten by
someone-
yourself.
Here's the meme. Someone on the right, a crazy right-winger, thinks the onion is real, and we are making an abortioplex.
Litter boxes.
Abortioplex.
Exactly, and
That sounds cool.
And then, after they tweet that, everyone posts the image of them going, say the line, Bart. And then, like, when the person says, like, the fact that I thought this was real says something about it, it's a meme! They're doing the meme! And so, of course, I'm screenshotting all of them because I'm like, this is, you need to remember this, Asterios, that you are also no better. That, like, you also fall for disinformation all the fucking time.
All right, I think this is probably a good place to end it. 2.5 hours.
Was I wrote it. I was sick one day, and of course I'm watching The Big Bang Theory.
All right, yep. I think I'm gonna end it here. I got one more little machine to power up.
Sheldon in a wig and a dress. And so I take a
Am I still here? What do you mean? Am I still here? Where would I have gone?
garbage on my television. Now the joke is that I did.
Yes.
I put on my own TV. No one even has cable anymore. You have to go to a streaming service to watch The Big Bang. You can't just.
All right, how do I get to the last
You
door?
have to intentionally watch The Big Bang Theory, right, Sarancha?
Correct. So is this a situation where people are like, why explaining the joke to you en masse, or being
Is that
like,
the last door?
This is
That one?
bullshit, Sheldon Trans? Question.
No, none of those things. Much worse. They start spreading my tweet
Yeah,
about
no problem.
it in like left.
I'm a big fan of this podcast. I like it. It's one of those shows that I listen to when I got like nothing else to listen to, but I always enjoy it.
All tell the same joke. You did, genius. You put it on your TV. And I'm like, yes.
I really like the dynamic between this guy and his wife.
These groups, and I'm like, yes, I did put it on my TV. I'm a comedian. That's the joke. And then they start saying, well, you need to make your satirical intent more clear.
Oh my fucking god, the literal comedy police. Bang,
You mean
bang.
r/satire isn't enough?
Say you need to make your satirical intent more clear. It's because you said the between M and O word, and someone called you on it, and you said I was doing a satire. And of course, they're not doing satire. That's shock humor. That's a completely different discipline of comedy. Because if
All right,
anyone's the
we're gonna
comedy
end it
police,
right
it's me.
here.
No, seriously, you don't understand.
Chapter 7, The Edge.
Commenter. I am the smartest person
Sounds
on
good
earth.
to me.
No one on earth
For the morning, what do I have planned?
there are
It's a
two
good question. Let's find out.
Either I laugh at the joke or the joke was not good, and you're a bad comedian. There is nothing in between.
For the morning, we're gonna do some Disco Elysium, and
thinking at all times.
we're gonna play a bit of that before I wait. Here, let me restart that sentence. In the morning, I'm gonna play Disco Elysium as I wait for Avowed to be released on Xbox. It comes out right before noon my time, so I'm gonna play for a couple of hours and then hop on Avowed because I already have it pre-installed and start out that game because I'm excited to get started on Avowed.
Comedy since I was 11 years old. The context is I'm a comedian telling a joke on my own page, which is full of jokes above and below, so it is in the proper context. And they're all...
Asterios, you've been defeated by Reddit. Just let it be. You're not gonna win this one. You don't win whenever Reddit starts getting you to describe what your joke is. Or trying to prove that you're the one that came up with the joke. At that point, you've lost. Either way, thank you everyone for joining tonight. Hit the like button, and I hope to see you all in the morning. Until then, we'll see you next time.
Like, well, you can't expect us to look at your thing like all we saw was the thing, and it's like, yeah, that's the problem. All you saw was the thing. You took my thing out of context.
And that's your fault, and you're wrong for doing that, and it's
Oh, I'm up for the day as soon as I crawl out of bed. Well, then I'll see you in a couple of hours when I get back up.
Banned me from all these stupid groups. I was on some group called, like, the Trump train falling off the wheels of the Trump. Something about a wagon and wheels in the Trump train. And all these people are like, they're DMing me. And they're like, oh, you went viral on this wagon group. I'm like, I know! They banned me from that group!
Yeah, they banned me because I made them feel stupid.
Yes! And they all start saying, like, well, clearly, like, you're just trying to farm engagement for your dumb podcast. And I'm like, yes, of course that's what I'm doing. But you don't know my podcast is dumb. You haven't heard it yet. And so, but back to the Musk tweet. Some fucking... look, I don't know if I should call this person a terrible musician because maybe they like us because we came up with the tweet. Some, like, TikToker with 20 million views takes that Elon Musk tweet about how, like, it's not based to kill CEOs. And he makes a song called, like, it is based to kill CEOs. Elon is wrong and it's totally based.
When I was a kid, we didn't murder CEOs. They just gave us each a penny and we did what we were told.
It's like, but this is misinformation. You're like, this cute little song. And all these kids are going like, yeah, this is great. What a great song. Like, you got to put this on your album. I'll buy this song on a t-shirt. And it's like, but it's a lie. It's all a lie. We're supposed to be better than this.
Well, you made a really bad mistake, and that was making a joke that wasn't immediately recognizable and palatable.
Exactly. How dare you be hilarious?
IQ.
That's what I realized at the end of the day. That by being so old, and by doing, because I've been doing comedy since I was 12, I'm 42 now. I've been doing comedy for 30 years. I've only been alive for 42 of them. By being so old, I'm doing like a style of comedy that is now novel because everyone else that was doing it has given up or died.
No, you're doing something even worse. By not including the /S tag on your post, you're committing violence. Because I don't have the time to go to your Twitter profile.
Yeah, if it had like the letter B in it, or if it had that Grinch, the blue Grinch that's like, I have leg surgery tomorrow, I jumped between two rocks and I broke my leg. Like, they would have loved it. But like the fact that it was just like a very simple parody. It wasn't deep fried. It didn't have like a gif of Sabrina Carpenter shaking that espresso drink. Like, it was just a very simple parody that kids were like, yeah, no one does this anymore, old man. How are we supposed to know you're joking?
Where's the water?
Because it's funny.
Where's the link to right? So my English teacher, who's my mentor, like now that we're kind of back in my small town, I'm seeing.
I'll
him
take
again,
what are
and
jokes
he
for
goes-
300,
I was, like, telling him
Alex.
the story, and he's like, well, "Why didn't you put like Patreon.com stereos on any of these things that have gone viral? Like, what? Don't you want to make money?" I'm like, "Well, but if you put that on, then people know it's a joke."
Yeah, unfortunately, that's required these days.